I want you and that young man to tie that knot. I'm gonna pray for you. And I want you to hold on to God's unchanging hand, because he helped Joshua fight the battle of Jericho. Yes.
It's the old
He helped Daniel get out the lion's den. He helped get off the island.
Let me get straight to the business. Got them lions in the building. Why you lying to the children? Why you lying to the children? RIGHTEOUS. Man, you know I've been to bed. Man, they know contest. Yahuwah, he do the bled. We will not see you tomorrow. Cause you cannot go to thought. All the sons and all the daughters. Standing hard with big manotas. But my son, he made me Taurus. On that line, I'm still a Taurus. Karate kicking Chuck Norris, 4-5 on my waist. If he started, will not hesitate to get retarded. Oh lordy, he ain't got a PowerPoint, he farted. He running to the hills like a Philistine. G-Hawk hitting Hamites with the guillotine. Situation turned up with the ratchet team. JJ 7000 to the bait league. I know them haters gon' hate me, but he won't debate me. Pistol off safety. He respond, come wake me. If I don't get up, nigga shake me. If he don't show up, then he fake G. I touch down and make these nigga nuts hate me. Dear brother. Ballin' and crawling all the way from H-Time. Let me get straight to the business. Man, them lions in the building. Why you lying to them children? Why you lying to them children? You gon' cry, you gon' get it. Me, I'm like a frog, nigga, ribbit. Of course, it's in the spirit. I just got the Porsche, she can steer it. Mito got the raw, shack and will it. Lamborghini doors, you better not spill it. Mama's high, say I'm more than just a villain. Mama's cry, I'm dope and wide for her children. Suicide, immortalized as the realest, yeah. Death by cut, black suicide. Let me get straight to the business. Got them lions in the building. Why you lying to them children? Why you lying to them children? RIGHTEOUS. Man, you know I be in bed. Man, they know contest. Yahuwah, he do the bled. Why ain't they taking over? Number one debate league, you heard me? When it's up, it's stuck. I'm stepping on everything, nigga. Metaphorically, of course.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All praises to the ever-present Great Spirit, whose magnitude is incomprehensible and whose presence is everywhere. And without the virtue of his presence, none of us and none of this would be made possible. It's your boy, Darryl Kosmon. Love and Light 2, Lions Den. Love and Light 2, Creator Gang, who's in the building. Love and Light. We're going to get, you know how I do, y'all. We could be cutthroat. We getting right to the presentation. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And by the way, Miss Karima, thanks for having me, sister. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you once again.
You're welcome.
Give me just a moment while I get myself set up, y'all. All right, go ahead and share my screen. We're going to do entire screen. We're going to do this one. Hit that share button. Okay, pull up this here. All right. All right, love and light to the chat. Love and light to the chat. Creator Gang. I see you in there. I see you. Hey, we're going to get right to the business. We're going to get right to the business. How's it looking? How's my audio?
Your audio's good and your screen is up.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sister Karima. All right, here we go, y'all. The topic tonight is let there be vortex. Let there be vortex. It's vortex is a motion. It is a motion that gets highly overlooked and is misunderstood. But we're gonna get up into what this is. But first, Darryl Kosmon got to warm y'all up to it. You know what I'm talking about? This is let there be vortex, the science of sky, earth, spirit. The science of sky, earth, spirit. All right, let's go. Let's get up into this. We're gonna kick this off with from Owaspy, Book of Owaspy. Book of Discipline, chapter 5, verses 10 and 11. We're going to go ahead and read through this, and we're going to go ahead and do the slowdown. Here it is, verse 10. Jehovah is as near this day, right here in the present. Jehovah, the great spirit, is as near this day, right here in the present, as in the time of the ancients. That's the past. That's before us. The great spirit says to put ourselves in order, becoming one with him. And listen up, y'all. I want y'all to pay attention to this here. Okay. The great spirit says no book. This includes Owaspy, along with any other created book in the world. The great spirit says, and no book is so easily read as his created universe. No book is so easily read as his created universe. Verse 11, it says, inspiration comes less by books. Inspiration comes less by books than what the Great Spirit wrote. What did the Great Spirit write? His worlds. The Great Spirit says to read him and to read his works and to frame our speech and our thoughts for him, and he will answer us in our own behavior. Let's break that down. Let's get into the breakdown. Because the Great Spirit's created universe, what does it consist of? The stars, the planets, the elements, all manner and forms of conscious beings. That's me and you. That's animals. That's insects. Electromagnetic energies and etc. Because the Great Spirit's created universe is what? The oldest written book and manuscript. He said no book is as easily read as his created universe. So guess what? His created universe is the oldest written book or manuscript and was written before the existence of any spine-bound book consisting of pages, chapters, and verses. Don't the information in books come from what is in reality first, and then it gets written into a book and passed on to a man or woman to read the information, correct? That's objective. Didn't no book exist before? Didn't no spine-bound book exist before the universe did, Reality was here first. So no book is so easily read as his created universe. That goes for Owaspy. That goes for Bible. That goes for Quran. And you can be upset with me for it, but it's the facts. What is a manuscript? What is a manuscript? A manuscript is a book, a document, or a piece of music written by hand. And what the creator say he wrote? His worlds, his created universe. That's what we are to read, his created universe, because inspiration comes less by books than by what the Great Spirit wrote, his worlds. So question, if the manuscript of creation is written by the hand of the Great Spirit, if the manuscript of creation is written by the hand of the Great Spirit, would we find its fingerprints in its works? Here we go. What's the title? Let there be vortex. Faith is in Owaspy. Y'all already know where this is going. Huh? The question is, if the manuscript of creation is written by the hand of the Great Spirit, would we find its fingerprints in its works? Huh? And I want y'all to hold that thought. Hold that thought, because we're going to get to it. Reading. Is reading limited to words in a book? Is reading limited to words in a book? What does it mean to read? Let's define that, huh? What does it mean to read? To read means to what? To learn by what? Observation. Observation. Keep that in mind. To read is to learn by observation, to examine or inspect. To examine or inspect. Now, pay attention to this definition. This one came from, I think this one came from Webster 1820. I got two sources down here, but let me go ahead and read the information. This definition here came from another source. It says read means to learn the nature of by doing what? Observing. Observing. But observing what? Observing what exactly? What are we observing? Outward expression. Outward expression. Or what? Or what? Signs. We're observing outward expression. Huh? So what is that called when we're observing or reading outward expression? And keep in mind, outward expression is how we read the Creator's works. We read the Creator's works by reading the reality that is exterior or external to ourselves. Hmm? Hmm? Outward expression, to read that is called extrospection. That's called extrospection. Extrospection is what? The examination or observation of what is outside of one's self. I want y'all to keep these in mind, because we're going to get deep. We're going to keep these in mind, huh? We got to go to vocabulary school first. But what about inward expression? That's the one thing that these definitions didn't mention. It mentioned outward expression, but what about inward expression? What about the inward expression? Shouldn't we read or observe what's going on also inside of oneself? Because guess what? The Creator said to read his works. Guess what? We are also his work. Huh? We are just as much a work of creation as well as everything else in reality around us. Huh? Huh? To read inside of oneself, that is called introspection. So we have extrospection when we're reading the reality around us, and we have introspection when we're reading the reality within us. Huh? What is introspection? Introspection is a reflective looking inward. It is a reflective looking inward. And guess what? An examination of one's own thoughts or feelings. It's an examination of one's own thoughts or feelings. So we have to read our thoughts and we have to read our feelings. Hmm? Oh, I forgot to format this, but check it out. Right here in the book of Owaspy, it says this. In Owaspy, in the book of Inspiration, chapter 3, verse 14, it says this. It says, I made you so that what? You would receive information. How do we receive information? From reading the works that's beyond us. Huh? I made you so that the Great Spirit made us so that we would receive inspiration, not only from the world external to yourself. Here it is, not only from the world external to yourself, but what? Inspiration from the members of your body. Hmm? Here it is with the precepts. All right, Owaspy, book of Af. All right, we're going to read chapter 1, verses 5 through 8. Chapter 1, verses 5 through 8. It says, the Creator says, I am the all highest. I am the all highest. My service extends forever. I do not go, yet I am far away. I do not come, yet I am near. My voice is in all places. Now check this out. The light of the soul of man hears me. The light of the soul of man hears me. Did he say the physical ears? Pay attention. I speak in the vine that creeps and in the strong standing oak. So the ear isn't the only mechanism of hearing. The ear is not the only mechanism of hearing. When you say something in your mind, when you say something and speak to yourself in your mind, and when we say something and speak to ourselves in our minds, are our physical ears picking up the message? Is that our physical ears? Think about that. Think about that. When we're dreaming and having a conversation with someone, are we picking that up with our physical ears? Sight is not the only way to observe a thing. Not with the physical eyes. When you make an image of something in your mind right now, you can picture an apple or picture a tree. You can see it in your mind. You're not seeing it with your physical eyes. Even when we dream and we see the figures in our dreams and we see the visuals in our dreams, is that the physical eyes viewing those, or is that the mind's eye? It's the mind's eye. Watch this. See, and that said, our mind has its own set of senses apart from the five corporeal senses. We can hear with it. We can, you know what I'm talking about? We can smell with it. We can touch with it. We can hear with it. Let's read from the book of Inspiration, chapter 3, verse 1 through 10. Let me go ahead and get that pulled up for y'all just one moment. We're going to talk about how our senses are used to observe a thing, to observe reality. Check it out. Book Inspiration, chapter 2, verse 1. You are made of inspiration, says the Great Spirit. We are made of inspiration. We are made of inspiration, the information that we receive and fill ourselves up with. The Creator made us a corporeal body, and He wrote upon it. And guess what? We are the result. And I made you susceptible so that all things, what? External to yourself could write upon you. So that all things are. And I made you susceptible so that all things external to yourself could write upon you. There we go again with external. It says the sum of these is your knowledge. The sum of these is your knowledge. So the sum of the things that we learn from what's external to ourselves is our knowledge. As it is with you, so is it with all men and with all the living that I created. Nor is there any knowledge in the world but what I gave. Nor is there any knowledge in the world but what I gave. Verse 7 says, all of it is my inspiration. We created nothing. We created no knowledge. Everything that we learn, all the information that we receive is what? Borrowed from reality. It is borrowed from the Creator's created universe. And none of it is ours. None of it is ours. Man said, check it out. Here it is. Verse 8. Man says this. Man says, by certain measurements, I teach my son mathematics. But the Creator says this. I am behind it all, says the Great Spirit. I am behind it all. I taught your father's father and all who were before him. The sum of all of man's knowledge is merely man's capacity to perceive my light. I made you my servant to teach your son by what certain measurements. This was the road. This was the road I made to reach your son's soul, to educate our kids. Man said, I know more than my father did, and yet my father knew more than his father did. We reason, we digest, we compound from one another. Jehovah says this, I am the all external. Look at that, the all external. From me, smaller lights are what? Focalized, says Jehovah, the Great Spirit. I was only supposed to read up to verse 10 and got carried away. But you get the idea. One moment, y'all. Oh, you know what, y'all? I was supposed to read chapter 3. Hey, but when I read it, chapter 2 was cold with it though. But watch this though. My bad. Y'all was supposed to be talking about the senses. My bad. Man, I'm in the zone right now. All right, I'm gonna bring it on back. Hold up. We're gonna read from chapter 3. Watch this. Hold up. We're talking about the senses, y'all. My bad. That was cold though. What I did read though. Check it out. All right. The creator said we're talking about the senses, about observation. But check this out. The creator say this. I made the eye of man to obtain knowledge by light. I made the eye of man to obtain knowledge by light. But guess what? See, now we got the sense of sight. All right. But what about the sense of hearing? The creator says, but the ear of man I made to obtain knowledge from darkness. That's what we can't see with the physical eyes. If you close your eyes right now and you close your eyes, so if you close your eyes right now, you start to feel around or you start to listen. You can hear things and obtain knowledge by listening from the darkness. I gave the power of touch to man by which he could learn the adaptability and compatibility and incompatibility of things with himself. There's touch. There's a sense of touch. These are the corporeal doorways I gave to you, O man, by which you are able to receive knowledge from me and my creations consciously to yourself. So when we read his works, we have to use our senses. We use our sense of sight. We use our sense of hearing. We use our sense of touch, our sense of taste. That's how we make observations. Through these, you are constantly impregnated. Through these, you are constantly impregnated. Through these, your soul accumulates knowledge from what? My works. Whatever is charged upon these doorways of the soul is what? Inspiration. Guess what? Guess what? When you see bread with those physical eyes, when you see bread or when you see food, when you see bread, you are inspired to what? To eat. When you see a horse, you are inspired to ride. When you touch a nettle, guess what? You are inspired to pain. Inspired to pain. Yet, in all cases, you must have practice before you can comprehend the inspiration that comes to you from things what? From these what? External things. It's really, I'm telling y'all, is we have to get in our heads. We have to understand that knowledge is received from that which is external to ourselves. When we don't understand the external comes inward, we're not going to comprehend Vortex when we get to it, y'all. We're not going to be able to comprehend Vortex when we get to it. Man says, today I remember my friend whom I have not seen for many years. Check it out. Great Spirit says this. I made you like a what? A storehouse. I made you like a storehouse. And what? Like a book. Like a book that was written before. I made you like a storehouse and a book that was written before. Look at that. We are the book. We are the book. Creation is the book. We are the creation. The creator said that inspiration comes less by books than by what the creator wrote. His worlds. Read him in his works, huh? Huh? And I gave you power to what? Reread your stores and your book, our memory. I gave you power to reread your stores and your book within your soul. Huh? Now let's go back. Let's go back. Hmm? Watch this. Watch this. We're gonna continue with the book of Acts. Huh? He says, "Hear my voice, oh, say, hear my voice, oh Creator. Hear my voice, oh Creator, oh angels of heaven. Sorry, hear the voice of your Creator, oh angels of heaven. Carry my wisdom of utterance. Carry carry the wisdom of my utterance down to mortals. Call them to the glories of the heavens and the broad earth. Behold, check it out. Behold, my voice is where? In the rocks. My voice is in the rocks and in the wind that blows and in all things that do not have tongues. Show them my sons. Show them my stars in the firmament above. For guess what? They are what? Here it is again. For they are my written words. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. My voice proceeds in the space of heaven. My voice, what? It proceeds in the space of heaven. The wise angels of my exalted places hear the sound going forth. Listen to my speech, but he's not talking about with the physical ears. Listen to my speech, O spirits of the dead. Proclaim me, O gods and goddesses. They look for me. Here it is. They look for me like they look for things. They listen for my voice like they listen for a man's voice. Man's voice is what? Can be picked up by the physical ears. And they do not find me or hear what I have spoken. Yet none can efface my words. My wisdom endures forever. Behold, here it is, y'all. Pay attention. Pay attention. Creator says, the Great Spirit says, behold, I do not come as a sound to the ear. I do not come as a sound to the ear. My voice goes where? Quickly into the soul from all sides. Hmm? Hmm? Book of Inspiration, chapter 11, verse 17, it states, I said to man, be free. I said to man, be free. This is the Creator, y'all. He's telling us to be free. Learn to know liberty. Think for yourself. Study your Creator in what? All things. Study your Creator in all things. But watch this, not just the things external to ourselves. He says, what? And in yourself in particular. In yourself in particular. Extrospection and introspection involves us. It involves you, the what? The spectator. Extrospect, introspect, spectator. Read him in his works. We are the Great Spirit's work. No different than the sun, moon, and the stars. And the information that we receive, from that which is external to ourselves becomes our inspiration. And we can read those works when we read inward, the things that we learn and know and understand. So remember, y'all, to read means to observe. The Creator says to read his works. The Creator said that inspiration comes less by books than by what the Creator wrote, his words. So what the Great Spirit is telling us to do is what? To be scientists. The Great Spirit is telling us to be scientists. How many of y'all know that y'all scientists? How many of y'all know? Put a 1 in the chat if you know that you're a scientist. Do you know you're a scientist? We are all scientists. Huh? What the Great Spirit is telling us to do is to be scientists, to be inspectors of creation, to read his works, to make those observations. If we read the works and we make the observations, and we experiment with those observations, we put those into practice, we are scientists, The Creator wants us to be scientists and to gain knowledge how? To gain knowledge how? Objectively. To gain knowledge objectively, What does it mean to be an inspector? Be an inspector of creation. An inspector does what? A person employed to inspect something. What does it mean to inspect? It means to view closely in critical appraisal. In critical appraisal. To be an inspector means to view something closely in critical appraisal. What does that mean, critical appraisal? It means to judge the merit. It means to judge the merit. To examine officially. But watch this, y'all. I want y'all to pay attention to this. The Creator's action is telling us to be inspectors of creation. Okay? An inspector is one who inspects. To inspect means to view something closely in critical appraisal. But I want y'all to watch this about indoctrination. Watch this about indoctrination. Repeating an idea to someone until they accept it, what? Without criticism or question. To accept a set of beliefs without criticism or question. A lot of us are not inspectors. A lot of us are just indoctrinated. That's why the Creator says to read his works. That's why the Creator says that inspiration comes less by books. Because if all you do is get your knowledge and your inspiration from books, then guess what? You're indoctrinated, especially if you accept those beliefs without question or criticism. Question everything. Criticize everything. Because a waspy in so many words is saying that it's not the end all be all. As spectators who inspect by extrospection and introspection with critical appraisal and expert judgment, we are being scientists. We are being scientists. All of us, whether you agree with it or not, whether you like it or not. If you're making an observation right now by listening to this podcast, you are being a scientist. You are receiving information from that which is external to you, from the information that I am transmitting to you right now. So I openly tell you to judge it. Judge it. Criticize it. Don't accept it because I'm here telling it to you. Challenge it. What is science? Science is the process. It's the process. Science is not the end result. Science is the process. It is the process of acquiring information through what? Observation and experimentation. Oh, look at that. Wait a minute. It is the process of acquiring information through what? Observation. But let's go back up to the definition of read. Let's go back up here to the definition of read. What is read? To learn by observation. Hmm? Hmm? Interesting. The process of acquiring information through what? Through observation and experimentation in an attempt to explain the universe and natural events. It's an attempt to explain the Great Spirit's works and how it works, huh? What is a process? Remember, science is the process of acquiring information, huh? But what is a process? A process is a series of actions or steps taken in order to achieve a particular end, huh? So, guess what? If science is the process of acquiring information, then what is the end result? What is the end result? Huh? The end result is what? Knowledge. Because knowledge is what? Facts, information, and skills. What? Acquired. Science is the process of acquiring information. Knowledge is what? Information acquired. So you have science, which is the process, and you have knowledge, which is the end result. Knowledge is facts, information, and skills acquired by a person through what? Experience or education. Hmm? Hmm? The knowledge that we've acquired becomes our inspiration. The knowledge that we've acquired by being scientific or being scientists becomes our inspiration. Huh? Owaspi Book of Inspiration, chapter 2, verses 1 through 7. It states, "You are made of inspiration." I read this earlier. You are made of inspiration. What is inspiration? Inspiration is information transmitted or received that we allow to have influence over our being. That's why we need to be careful of the type of things we listen to, or the people that we hang around, or the things that we eat, huh? Because what we fill ourselves up with, we become a product of. Huh? Y'all been here long enough to see how people become products of their environment. Huh? I made you a corporeal body and I wrote upon it. And guess what? We are the result. Huh? We are the result. And I made you susceptible so that all things external, here we go again with external, all things external to yourself could write upon you. Huh? If we listen to bad music or negative music, that writes upon our soul negativity. If we listen to positive music, it writes upon our soul positivity. If we read negative books, it writes on us. If we read positive books, that writes on us. Huh? Negative movies, negative attitude. Y'all get the idea. Huh? The same way the body is what it eats, the spirit is what it eats as well. The sum of these is your knowledge, huh? From being a scientist. The sum of these is your knowledge. As it is with you, so is it with all men and with all the living that I created, huh? Nor is there any knowledge in the world but what I gave. We can't come up with anything. We can't come up with anything new that the creator hadn't created already for us to discover. That's why they say the expression is what? There's nothing new under the sun. There ain't nothing new that the universe didn't know was already set for us to discover. Hmm? Hmm? The creator says that all of it is my inspiration. All of the inspiration that we receive is from the great spirit that created universe. Huh? Even if it's written in the book, because I said in the beginning that it has to come from reality first in order to be written in the book. Huh? So what is our role as mortal scientists? What is our role as mortal scientists who read him and his works? Hey, by the way, y'all, if sometimes my microphone goes off track, if my microphone goes off track, y'all just let me know in the chat. I'll exit out and come back in so I can refresh it. But sometimes it goes off track. So just do me a favor. If y'all catch it going off track or it cuts out, y'all just throw something in the chat, let me know, tag me in there. I'll see it and I'll reset. Appreciate y'all. Much love. All right. So what is our mortal role? What is our role as mortal scientists who read him and read his works? Hmm? Scientists, this is from study.com. Scientists want to do what? Observe natural phenomenon. What does it mean to read? It means to observe, to examine or inspect. Scientists want to observe natural phenomena or events to understand the mechanisms that cause them and explain how or why those natural events occur. Huh? Don't tell me y'all ain't scientists. Don't tell us we ain't scientists. Don't tell me we ain't scientists. Reading him and his works means to be scientific about the how of reality and its events. And when someone asks how of a thing, then the expected response should be the process of the how. The first this, the second that, the then this, the third, and finally. Those are steps in the process. Now, I got to pick on Bible a little bit here. As a former Christian, as a former evangelist, as a former Baptist, I have to pick on the Bible a little bit here. All right. So my apologies. But listen up. There's a reason why I'm doing this. When you read the King James Version in Genesis, verses 3-5, it states this. This is what it states in Genesis. Verse 3 says this, and God said, let there be light. God said, let there be light. And there was what? There was light. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. Now check this out, y'all. Check this out. Let there be light, and there was light is not a process, but an end product. It is an end result. There is no how. Let's just be genuine about it. There is no how. Genesis chapter 1, verses 1-2. It states this. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form. I want y'all to pay attention. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. All right, now let's get up into this. Let's get up into this. This means that earth was a vapor. Think about that. The earth was void. It was void and without form. This means that earth was a vapor of substances dissolved in the ether or space. This means that the earth was a vapor of substances dissolved in the ether of space. But how were those vapors condensed to give form to that which is without form? That's the question. That's a scientific question. We have to be realistic and ask that. But how were these vapors condensed to give form to that which is without form? What is a vapor? A vapor is a substance in the gaseous state, as distinguished from a liquid or solid state. This earth was not in a solid state. It wasn't even in a liquid state. There is no process. But check it out. Owaspy says this. Owaspy, Book of Jehovah, chapter 2, verse 8 says this. I also created atmospheric worlds in the firmament and gave them places, orbits, and courses to themselves. But check this out. But atmospherian worlds I created shapeless. Shapeless. Atmospherian world. What is atmosphere? Gaseous. Vapor. Gas. That's atmosphere. But atmospherian worlds I created shapeless. And what? Without fixed form. Without fixed form. For they are what? For they are what? In the process of condensation or dissolution. In the process of condensation or dissolution. By what? Being an intermediate condition between my etherian and my corporeal worlds. Of 3 degrees of density, I created them. I want y'all to pay attention to this. In 3 degrees of density, I created them, and I commanded man to name them. And one he called Jaya, and one he called Aji, and one he called Nebula. One he called Nebula. Watch this. Pay attention. We're going to slow it down in just a moment. Metals can be vaporized and condensed again. Huh? Is everybody aware that metals can evaporate and then they can also condense again? Check it out from the physics form. It's the source. In summary, when boiling metals pass their boiling point, they will what? Evaporate. They will evaporate. This process can also occur at lower temperatures, but at a slower rate. Mercury is one example of a metal that can be evaporated, but it is also quite unhealthy. Other metals, such as tungsten, can also be evaporated and what? Condensed again. Condensed again. Now watch this. I'm going to touch on this. Now, we said that what? These vapors that man called, these vapors, these vapors that don't have fixed form, these gaseous vapors, man called them what? Jaya, Aji, and called one nebula. Pay attention to this, y'all. Pay attention to this. Now, what is Aji and what is Jaya? According to Owaspi. Watch this, y'all. Aji is semi-dark. It's a semi-dark nebula. Okay, watch this. It's semi-dark. It is a dense region in Etheria. Etheria is just space. That's what Etheria is. It's just space. The ether, space. For those of y'all that don't understand, it's just space. A dense region in Etheria, which sometimes descends to the earth, and it is less dense than nebula. Now watch this. Jaya is what? It's semi-light substance. It's semi-light. One is semi-dark, one is semi-light substance in Etheria, and is less dense than Aji. Watch this. Now check this out. Here's what's interesting. Look at the classes of nebula. Watch this. This is from Encyclopedia Britannica. These are the classes of nebula, right? On the basis of appearance, nebula can be divided into 2 broad classes. This is interesting. Nebula can be divided into 2 broad classes right here. Dark nebula. Wow, interesting. And what else? Bright nebula. We got dark nebula and we have bright nebula. It says this. It says dark nebula is sorry, let me reset. Slow down, Darryl. Dark nebula appear as irregularly shaped black patches in the sky. Remember this, y'all. Dark nebula, it appears as irregularly shaped black patches in the sky and blot out the light of the stars that lie beyond them. Remember that. Remember this right here. But bright nebula appear as faintly luminous glowing surfaces. They either emit their own light or reflect the light of nearby stars. Watch this. Watch this. Now watch this. Although bright nebula was observed in the 1600s, bright nebula had already been discovered. Although bright nebula was observed in the 1600s, it wasn't until after 1883 that dark nebula, which Owaspi describes as Ig, was discovered by astronomer Edward Emerson Barnard, but wasn't called dark nebula until decades after 1883 discovery. Watch this. Watch this, y'all. There's y'all boy Edward Emerson. And this is the star cluster that he studied when he discovered dark nebula, which is what Owaspi calls Ig. Watch this. On July 17th, 1883, while observing near M20 in Sagittarius, Barnard discovered a small triangular shaped dark hole near a small cluster, and it's called NGC 6520. That's what the name of it is today. Watch this. This was Edwards' first telescopic discovery of what would be known decades later. Remember, he observed it in 1883, but it would be known decades later as what? Dark nebula. Dark nebula, huh? And here are some other examples of dark nebula. This is the Horsehead Nebula in the constellation of Orion. See that darkness right there? That's called dark nebula. It's blocking out that light in the background. Well, you can also look in our own sky at the Milky Way galaxy. We have a whole strip of black nebula, dark nebula going straight through this light that's right beyond it, right? So tell me this. How did Owaspie know about the existence of dark nebula in 1881? It wasn't discovered till 1883, and they didn't call it dark nebula till what? Decades later. Again, with process. Again, with understanding the process of a thing. Book of Jehovah, chapter 4, verses 13 through 17. Man sought to know the what? The progress of things. Man sought to know the progress of things. Jehovah answered him saying, but check it out. When we look up the word progress, when we look up the word process in Merriam Dictionary, the first word and the first definition is what? Progress. Progress. And the Great Spirit said this. He said, open your eyes, oh man. There is a time of childhood, a time of propagation, a time of old age, and a time of death to all men. It is likewise with all the corporeal worlds I have created. They have a beginning, they have a lifespan, and they have a limit. They have a deadline, Just like we do. Now check it out. Here it is. We were talking about the vapor, right? It was without fixed form, right? When we go back and read Genesis, he said the earth was without fixed form. That means it was a vapor. It was a vapor in the ether. It was a vapor in space. First as a vapor. That's the first step in the process. First as a vapor, the vortex carries it forth. That's the first step in the process. See the vapor? See this nebula? See all the nebula here? It starts off like this. That's a world without fixed form. That's what a world without fixed forms look like. It's a gas. It's gaseous. The first step in the process is to what? Create a vortex. First as a vapor, the vortex carries it forth. And then as it what? Condenses. It condenses. We just read in the source just up above that what? Metals condense. These gases condense into elements. They condense into the golds. They condense into silvers. They condense into calciums. They condense into other gases as well. The argons. The hydrogens. And it condenses. And guess what? As it condenses, its friction engenders heat. And it is molten. That's number 2 right there. It is molten, becoming as a globe of fire in heaven, The earth was a hot rock before it cooled off. It wasn't habitable when it was forming. It was a glowing hot rock. And if we was on another planet viewing this, the earth would look like a sun. It would look like a star. Much like how we can view planets with our naked eye, like Mars and like Venus, and they look like stars. First as a vapor. That's first step in the process. First as a vapor, the vortex carries it forth. And as it condenses, its friction engenders heat. Y'all know damn well that friction creates heat. And it is molten, becoming a globe of fire, what? In heaven. then guess what? It takes its place as a what? A newly born world. And I set it in the orbit I prepared for it. Check it out. Right there in the center of the planet. It started off as a hot rock, like a star. We got a star in the center of the world. There's a star in the center of the world. Then it says this. It says, in the next age, I bring it into Simu. Y'all watch this. We finna get crazy. In the next age, I bring it into Simu. We'll talk about what Simu is later on in the presentation. For it is ripe for the bringing forth of living creatures. Now it is ripe for the bringing forth the living creatures. It started off as a molten rock. And then as it got bigger, it cooled off. And now it's ripe for the bringing forth of living creatures. And I bestow the vegetable and animal kingdoms. And then guess what? Next it enters Hotu, for it is past the age of begetting. There's going to come a point in the age of the earth where we won't be able to exist anymore. It won't be habitable anymore at a certain point. The earth has an end. It has an expiration date. Human beings ain't gonna be on earth forever. Right now, we're living in its habitable time zone. When it was generating, it wasn't habitable. Now it's cooled off, and now it's ripe for us to be here. It's ripe for me to be here. It's ripe for you to be here. But then there's gonna come a point, well, it ain't gonna be habitable no more, So it enters Hotu, for it's past the age of beginning, even as the living who are advanced in years. Next it enters Adu, and nothing can generate upon it. Nothing can generate upon it. Then comes Ooze, and it is spirited away into the unseen realms. Thus I create. Listen what the creator say, y'all. Thus I create and dissipate planets, suns, moons, and stars. And if y'all don't believe that the creator dissipates planets, suns, moons, and stars, then how do you think we get supernovas? A supernova is a dissipated sun. Dissipation of creation is what would happen if the Great Spirit ever rested or ceased from his works. I'm going to say that one more time. Dissipation of creation is what would happen if the Great Spirit ever rested or ceased from his works. Because it says in Owaspy, Book of Jehovah, Book of the Great Spirit, chapter 1, verse 1, it states that all is, all was, all ever shall be. The all spoken motion was and is and ever shall be. It says motion was and motion is and motion ever shall be. That means before us it was moving, during us is moving, and after us is going to continue moving. It doesn't rest, And it says being positive was called he and him, and the all motion was his speech. But then we go here in Genesis. We go here in Book of Genesis, chapter 2, verses 2 and 3. And it says, and on the seventh day, God ended his work. God ended his work. It says on the seventh day that God ended his work, which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day. He rested, He ended his work and he rested. But check it out. Now we go back to Owaspy in the book of Aranathan, chapter 1, verses 19 through 21. It says this. It says what? It says third, that the Great Spirit has not finished his creations. Has not finished his creations. Wait a minute. But didn't we touch on it above that we are his work? We are the creation. So if the creator rested, then how are new babies being born every day? How are stars being born all the time? How are new galaxies being formed? How are new planets being formed? Nothing ended. There is no rest. Check it out. It says that the Great Spirit has not finished his creations and retired from his works. That where we have said he tired or he rested, we have let ourselves fall through errors of language into profanation of the Almighty. For he is master over all weariness and is master and is his own everlasting rest and unrest beyond the comprehension of mortals and angels. And is what? And he is what? He is forever bringing together, creating and forever dissolving and dissipating worlds without number. Huh? Hmm? Huh? So where the rest at? If there was any rest, if there was any ending to work, we wouldn't even be sitting here right now. We wouldn't even exist. Oh yeah, we about to get into it now. Key points. Key points. We've learned that inspiration comes less by books than by reading reality. We learned that inspiration comes less by books, by reading reality. What is reality? The great spirits created universe. The great spirits work. We've learned that our senses are the mechanism used to observe and experience the phenomenon of reality. And even the phenomenon of ourselves, because guess what? We are of reality. We are not separate from his works. We are of his works and are its work. We've learned that we can observe. We've learned that what we observe is external to ourselves, and what we internalize from our observations become our knowledge, our inspiration.
Your mic out.
Oh, okay. Let me exit out and come back in.
You good now?
Okay. It might have lip sync. Let me go ahead and exit out. I'm gonna come right back in and I'm gonna continue.
Okay.
All right.
Please hit the like. Hey, Babylon Don.
All right, we back. Thanks for letting me know my mic had to be reset. All right, we're gonna start this over from the top right here, the key points. Okay. We've learned that inspiration comes less by books, less by reading books than by reading reality. That's the creator's created universe. We've learned that our senses are the mechanism used to observe and experience the phenomena called reality. We've learned that what we observe is external to ourselves, and what we internalize from those observations become our knowledge. We've learned that science is the process of acquiring information through observation, and that knowledge is the information acquired through those observations, from those observations. The knowledge acquired becomes our what? Our inspiration, meaning that we internalize or fill ourselves up with influences. Sorry, well, let me re-say that. The knowledge acquired becomes our inspiration, meaning that what we internalize, it influences our thoughts, it influences our speech, and it influences our behavior. That's why when we go back up, And the creator said that inspiration comes less by books than by what Jehovah wrote, his worlds. It says to read him and his works. But then it says right here to frame your speech and your thoughts for him, and he will answer you in your own behavior. Huh? So what we fill ourselves up with, that's what influences our thoughts. That's what influences our speech, and that's what influences our behavior. This is why the faith is say as without, so within. So within as without. What does that mean? Meaning as knowledge is transmitted without, so is knowledge received within. I'm gonna say that one more time. Meaning as knowledge is transmitted without, so is knowledge received within. And as knowledge is received within, so is knowledge transmitted without. Huh? Here we go. Book of Inspiration, chapter 1, verse 23 to 25, it states, as the whirlwind gathers up the dust, and drives it where? Toward the center, so is the plan of my created universe. We are like a center. All things come to us from without. There we go with receiving the information and the knowledge from without, from that which is external to ourselves. It says your knowledge as well as your corporality came to you from what? From outside, from that which is what? External to ourselves. External to ourselves. All right, here we go. Vortex. We finna get up in it now, baby. We in the thick of it now. We finna get up in it. But listen, I'm gonna take a second. I gotta go grab me some water, and we about to fly high. We about to get up in it right now. Give me just a moment. I'll be right back. All right. Oh man, I needed that. All right, we back. Here we go. All right, y'all. We finna cruise now. All right, we got it. Vortex. The motion of the mind behind the manifestation. This is it right here, y'all. Vortex, the motion of the mind behind the manifestation. All right, this is a source from Encyclopedia Britannica defining motion. What is motion? Motion in physics. Change with time of the position or orientation of a body. Motion along a line or a curve is called translation. But motion that changes the orientation of a body is called rotation. Motion that changes the orientation of a body is called rotation. Remember what we read earlier, Waspy? Wasby Book of Jehovah, chapter 1, verse 1, it states, all was, all is, all ever shall be. That's past, present, and future. All was, all is, all ever shall be. The all spoke in motion. The all spoke in motion was, and motion is, and motion ever shall be. And being positive was called he, and him, the all motion was his speech. The all motion was his speech. Huh? Here we go. Here we go. Owaspi Book of Jehovah, chapter 3, verse 2 through 3. Man looked upward. Man looked upward in prayer, desiring to know, not believe. Not believe. Man looked upward in prayer, desiring to know the way of all created things, both on earth and in heaven. And the Great Spirit answered him, saying this. Watch this. The whirlwind I made as a what? A sign to man of the way of my created worlds. The whirlwind I made as a sign. We have to read his works for the signs. Remember, let's go back up to where we wrote, to where we read about this earlier on in this presentation. Here we go. Here we go. The Creator said to do what? Our Creator said to read him and his works. To read him and his works, because inspiration comes less by books than by what he wrote, which was his worlds, right? And then when we look up the definition of read, it means to learn by what? Observation. And when we read the next definition, it means what? To learn the nature of by observing outward expression or what? Signs, huh? So when we observe the Creator's works, we are looking for what? Signs. So now we're looking for what signs of the whirlwind. Here we go in Vortex. Here we go in Vortex. Let's go back. The whirlwind I made as a sign to man of the way of my created worlds. As you see the power of the whirlwind doing what? What does the whirlwind do? As you see the power of the whirlwind doing what? Gathering up the dust of the earth and driving it together. Know that likewise I bring my Jaya and my Aji and my nebula in the firmament of heaven. Remember, we went over what Aji and Jaya and nebula was. I showed y'all that from the source. I showed y'all that Aji was dark nebula. I showed y'all that there was an astronomer in 1883 or in 1883 who discovered dark nebula. I showed y'all that it wasn't until decades after 1883 when he discovered dark nebula that they didn't call it dark nebula till then. Here we go. By the power of the whirlwind, I create the corporeal suns, the corporeal moons, and the corporeal stars. By the power of the whirlwind. Stay tuned, y'all. I'm going to prove that to y'all objectively. I commanded man to name the whirlwinds in the Etherian firmament, and man named them according to their shape, calling them vortices and work. Calling them vortices and work. Here we go. Remember, y'all, these are the vapors. This is the vapor. This is atmospheric or etheric. This is etheric vapor. We went over this earlier on in the presentation. All right, watch this. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all this experiment real quick. How the whirlwind, how Vortex condenses things. Watch this. Hold on, where's that video at? Here we go. All right. It drives things toward the center and it condenses things. This is the power of Vortex. This is Vortex. All right, this is my substance. I pour my substance. There it is. There's my vapor. There's my substance. The water is space. The water is the ether. Check out the corporeal substance that I put into the water. Go ahead, give it a stir. Make a vortex. Make a vortex and give it a stir. Now watch the substances condense. Watch it condense. Watch this here. Right there. It drove the substance toward the center, and it created a mass. It created a mass. Look at that. Drove it all together. The vortex drove it together. Look at this here. It drove the substance toward the center. It gathered up the substance and drove it toward the center and created a mass. That's how vortex in space creates worlds with the nebula that's in space. Watch this. I'm going to show y'all from another view. Give me just a moment. This is another view, so y'all can see it from another view. And y'all can see down there that the vortex is pulling it in right there at the base. Look at that. Look at the base of it. Look how it's all coming in. It's all coming together, being driven toward the center. Now, remember, the shape that's being created in the vortex in the bowl is toroidal. Now, I'm going to put the GoPro in a second just so we can get up close on it just to see that it clumped together. It produced a mass. Look at that. All right. All right, here we go. So I'm going to read that for y'all again. The whirlwind I made as a sign to man of the way of my created worlds. And as y'all saw in the experiment, that's how we're scientists. That's how we saw. We're looking for signs of vortex. We saw a sign of vortex in that bowl of water and how it drove the substance together and created a mass in the center. That's a sign. It says, no, likewise, in the same manner, I brought together the Jaya, the Ig, and the nebula in the firmament of heaven. And by the power of the whirlwind, by the power of vortex, I created the corporeal suns, the corporeal moons, and the corporeal stars. Here it is again, just showing you some photos. I started out right here. It was all dissipated. It was dissipated. It was a vapor. This is Earth without fixed form and void. Now, when you drop that whirlwind up in there, when you drop that whirlwind in space, what happens? It brings all that nebula and all that substance and all those metals, all that gold and silver and lead and hydrogen. It brings it all together and it creates a mass, create a solid ball. But then not just that, it creates a womb of atmosphere, which our solid Earth sits in. So we're looking for signs of vortex, signs, a motion, What is it? What is a sign? A sign is what? A motion. Isn't that interesting? A sign is a motion or gesture by which a thought is expressed or a command or wish is made known. But check this out. Something material or what? External. External. We've been talking about external. We've been talking about motion. Or something external that stands for or signifies something spiritual, or it's something indicating the presence or existence of something else. So when we see the world spiraling, when we see tornadoes spiraling, when we see hurricane spiraling, it indicates the presence or the existence of something else, a vortex that is causing that motion. What are signs of vortex? Here are some signs of vortex. We got hurricanes. We got the hurricane. The hurricane is what? It's a vortex. It's spinning, spiraling, vortex, vortexian storm. We also got tornadoes. And what do tornadoes do? They spin around and they gather up the substance of the earth. We got whirlpools. We got snow. We even got magnetism. And of course, we got galaxies. And also, check this out, y'all. We got fingerprints. Look at your fingerprint. Look at your fingerprint up under the light. That's everybody's vortexian signature. Our fingerprints are our unique vortexian signature. Nobody's fingerprint is alike. That's why if you ever got caught up in the jam, or if you ever had to submit your fingerprint because you was doing something, working with kids or something, you had to submit your signature, huh? And everything you touch, you write your name all over it. Everything we touch, we write our names all over it. That's why on the crime scene this happens. Look here. It say the Great Spirit's fingerprint is what is spiral. It's vortexian. And in the Great Spirit's likeness, so is ours. Our fingerprint is spiral. Our fingerprint is what? It's vortexian. You see the fingerprint here? You see that spiral galaxy? Huh? Signs. These are signs. So the same way investigators examine a crime scene for what? For signs of the suspect's hand in the situation, is the same way we observe and examine creation or read creation for signs of the creator's hand in its works. Huh? The same way an invisible tornado spawns up and gathers up the dust of the earth, or gather up whatever substance it forms on top of, and its body is made what? Visible. A detective on the crime scene, it uses charcoal to do what? Make our vortex visible. Huh? If you take a piece of paper and put it on top of a magnet and take some iron shavings or some iron dust and throw it on top of the paper, the iron will take the shape of the vortex coming off the magnet. Y'all see how it all corresponds? Huh? What my Hermetic brothers and sisters at? Don't y'all know this is the principle of correspondence at work right here. Huh? This is how the unseen vortex becomes visible, and we see signs. We investigate, we inspect. Huh? And this is showing that a vortex is unseen until it is made visible by the corporeal substance that drives it toward the center. Y'all ever seen dust devils? Let's look at that. Let's see vortex pick up the dust of the earth and drive it toward the center. Let's watch this real quick. We ain't gonna watch all of them, but just skim through it. Check this out. Fair use, by the way. Fair use. We just gonna skim through it. Check it out. I'm gonna go to timestamp right here. I'm gonna go to timestamp 220. Now watch this. If a vortex spawned over snow or generated over snow, what is his body gonna be made of? Its body gonna be made of snow. Watch this. I'm gonna go to timestamp 220 real quick. Play it from right here. Watch this. Watch this tornado. Watch this little dust devil over the snow. Look at that. It becomes a body of snow. The information it receives, or the substance it receives, is snow. Now you got a snow dust devil right there. Huh? That's how the unseen is made visible. That's how vortex is made visible. That's a sign of vortex when you see that. Huh? Look at that one. That one's made of sand because it generated over sand. Watch this one at 555 that generates over soil. Look at that one. That one's made of sand too, generated over sand. Got a body of sand. Watch this one over the soil. We got one right there made of dirt. But it's transparent. If that soil wasn't even right there, we walk right into it, not even knowing it was there. Not even knowing it was there. Look at the soil. It's made of, look at that. It's driving it together and spinning it around. Now watch this one on the water. We're going to watch this one on the water. It's 1414, and we're going to go ahead and proceed. If vortex generate over water, then this body is going to be of water. Watch this. Look at this. Look at that. The whirlwind I made as a sign. That's why the creator says the whirlwind I made as a sign of the way of my created world. See there? So let's go ahead and understand further what vortex is. What vortex is. This is what vortex is. It's toroidal. It's like a toroid. It's toroidal. Right there, if you look in the center, you can see the tornado funnel. You can see the whirlwind funnel right there. Right here in this image. right here in this moving image, and right here you can see the funnel. But the overall shape is like it's toroidal or ovular, but toroidal. Mhm. And what it drives towards the center becomes spherical. Watch this vortex. A vortex, the plural of vortex is vortices. The plural of vortex is vortices. It is a rapidly spinning, right here, it's a rapidly spinning circular or spiral flow of fluid around a central axis. The swirling motion tends to suck everything within the fluid toward the center. It sucks everything within the fluid toward the center. The speed and rate of rotation of the fluid are greatest at where? At the center. Remember when we watched my experiment video, the way everything was it was driving toward that center very rapidly, then it built up and created a mass. It built up and created a mass. The speed and rate of the rotation of the fluid are greatest at the center and decrease progressively with distance from the center. Examples of vortices range from tornadoes and hurricanes in the atmosphere to water flowing down a drain. The great red spot on Jupiter appears to be a huge vortex. They're talking about Jupiter's eye. If anybody know what that is. A vortex can be what? Observed. And that's what we've been doing. We've been observing vortex. We have been observing the sign of the whirlwind, observing the sign of vortex. A vortex can be observed in the spiraling motion of air or fluid around a center of what? Rotation. Rotation. The circular current of water of conflicting tides form what? Vortex shapes. Turbulent flow makes many vortices. A good example of a vortex is the atmospheric phenomenon of a whirlwind or a tornado or a dust devil. Or a dust devil. This is a dust devil, what we've been observing right here. These are dust devils. Dust devils are spinning columns of air. Spinning columns of air caused by a vortex. But they're not strong enough to be qualified as tornadoes. So that's why they're called that's why they're called dust devils. See that? Hmm? The whirling air mass mostly takes the form of a helix, a column, or spiral. Hmm? A mass of spinning air liquid that pulls things toward the center. That's vortex, y'all. That's vortex. I just wanted to read a number of precepts from a number of sources to make sure that we all got it. It drives things toward the center. Vortex is the motion that gives Earth its form from being void and without form. In the Bible, in Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 through 2, it says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without what? It was without form. That means it was a vapor. It was without fixed form, and it was void. And the darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. The waters in this verse is not an ocean or a lake, because there is nothing for the liquid water to even rest on. The waters is what? The ether, a vapor of corporeal substance in solution. It is a vapor of corporeal substance in solution. I'm going to play this video one more time. This is how the earth was given form. There is no fixed form. The substances I put into the water does not have a fixed form. And when I stirred it together, when I created a vortex, all the substance was driven toward the center. And what? It formed a mass. View number 2. There it is from the side. There it is up close. All right. So what is ether? The waters is the ether. What is ether? Ether in a WASP glossary is defined as the solvent of corpore. It is the solvent of corpore. As water is the solvent of salt, so is ether or space the solvent of corporeal substance. Huh? That's what these nebulas are that we see in outer space. It's dissolved substance. Well, what we can visibly see, at least. What we can't see is even more dissolved and is not visible. Huh? In like manner, when the ether solvent is in rotation by vortex, it condenses the corporeal substance that is dissolved. Book of Jehovah, chapter 3, verse 4. By the power of rotation, with driving at the periphery, I condense the atmospheric worlds that float in the firmament. And these become my corporeal condensed worlds. And in the midst of the vortices, I made them. And by the power of the vortices, I turn them on their axes and carry them in the orbits I allotted to them. Wider. Hold on now. Wider. Wait a minute now. Wider than to the moons of a planet. Wider than to the moons of a planet, I created the vortices that carry the moons also. So what is this saying? This is saying that the vortices of the planet exceeds the vortices of the moon. It goes beyond the moon. The vortices of a planet is what? Its atmosphere. The vortices of the earth is its atmosphere. So is the Owaspy saying that the moon exists within Earth's atmosphere? Is that what the Owaspy is telling us here? It says right here, it says wider of a planet, wider than the moons of a planet, I created the vortices, and they carry the moons also. So the Earth's vortices is carrying the vortices of the moon. So the moon exists inside the atmosphere of the vortices of the Earth. Is this true? Huh? Oh, well, let's talk about that. The moon is not in outer space. What, Darryl Kosmon? What did you just say? The moon is not in outer space. It's in the Earth's atmosphere. Huh? It's in the Earth's atmosphere. Oh, well, check this out. Space.com says this. Don't get an attitude with me about this information. Get an attitude with Space.com because they made the discovery that it's true. Right here, space.com. Let's take it there so you can see it in real time. It says surprise. I'm going to zoom in for you so you can see it. It says surprise. Earth's atmosphere extends far beyond the moon. Wait a minute. This is a recent discovery. Earth's atmosphere extends far beyond the moon. But let's go back to the Owaspy. And it says, what? Wider than the moons of a planet, I created the vortices, which is the atmosphere, and they carry the moons also. The moon is not in outer space. It's in the Earth's atmosphere. Let's read about this. It says, what? It says, tiny wisps of Earth air stretch way out into deep space, far beyond the moon's orbit. Bag drop. Huh? Far beyond the moon's orbit, a new study suggests. It says that Earth's geocorona, a teeniest cloud of hydrogen atoms, a teeniest cloud of what? Hydrogen atoms, extends up to 390,000 miles into space. 390,000 miles into space, huh? Into space, according to what? New research. For perspective, the moon orbits the Earth at an average of 239,000 miles. Look at that. Then it says here on space.com, the moon flies through Earth's atmosphere. There it is. There's the diagram they provided. There's the diagram they provided. And what did I say? If the moon is in Earth's atmosphere, that means the moon ain't even in outer space. Okay, so what is outer space? Outer space is what? Space immediately outside the Earth's atmosphere. So if the moon exists within the Earth's atmosphere, it's not in outer space because it's not outside the atmosphere or the vortex of the Earth. Huh? Huh? The moon is only in orbit. It's in orbit. Orbit is what? It is a path described by one body in its revolution about another, as by the Earth about the sun, or by an electron about an atomic nucleus. Huh? That said, man may have been to the moon, if a man ever even been to the moon in the first place. But if he has been to the moon, he ain't even been in outer space. Because if you on the moon, you still in the atmosphere of the Earth, homie. You still in the atmosphere of the Earth, huh? Hmm? Hmm? Now, how did Owaspy get that in 1881? How did Owaspy get that in 1881? If this is a recent discovery, how did Owaspy get the information that the moon is in the Earth's atmosphere in 1881? Huh? Watch this. To make the sun. Oh, here we go. To make the sun. Remember, God said in the Bible, let there be light, and there was light. But there was no process. To say let there be light and there was light, that's the end result. What is the process of attaining that light, huh? Of creating that light? Here it is. The same way with Vortex right here. The Creator said, the Great Spirit says, to make the sun, I created a what? A great vortex. I created a what? A great vortex. And within the vortex, and within this vortex, and subject to it, I made the vortices of many corporeal worlds. So the vortex of the sun created the vortex of the sun, moon, of the sun and the moon. The vortex of the sun created the vortex of the planets and their moons. Watch this. To make the sun, I created a great vortex. And within this vortex and subject to it, I made the vortices of many corporeal worlds. The sun vortex I caused to do what? Rotate. And I gave it power to do what? To carry other vortices within it. And according to their density and position, they are thus carried forth around the sun. Huh? So guess what? If the vortex of the Earth extends past the vortex of the moon, then guess what? The vortex of the sun extends far past its planets that is carrying also. Huh? Same mechanism. Watch this. The outer atmosphere of the sun is called the heliosphere. It's the sun's vortex. The heliosphere does what? Extends. This is from NASA. The heliosphere does what? Extends beyond the orbit of the planets. The same way the Earth vortex extends beyond the orbit of the moon. Huh? The heliosphere extends beyond the orbit of the planets in our solar system. Thus, the Earth exists inside the sun's atmosphere. Just like, look, it says it right there. The Earth exists inside the sun's what? The sun's atmosphere. We're in the atmosphere of the sun. The same way the moon is in the atmosphere of the Earth. In orbit, not in outer space, in orbit. Because it doesn't exist beyond the atmosphere of the Earth, huh? And it says outside the heliosphere is called what? Interstellar space. Outside the atmosphere of the sun is called interstellar space. Outside the vortex or the atmosphere of the Earth is called outer space. Outside the atmosphere of the sun or the heliosphere is called interstellar space. When was the heliosphere discovered? Huh? When was the heliosphere discovered? Remember, y'all, the Owaspy is an 1881 book. How does it know this information, huh? When was the heliosphere discovered? It says right here again in NASA, despite the fact that it is the largest single physical system in the entire solar system, the heliosphere, which is the vortex of the sun, the heliosphere was only discovered at the dawn of the space age in the late 1950s. Huh? How did Owaspy get this information in 1881? Huh? Oh, well, let's keep moving. It says right here that for the first time, NASA took a photo of the sun's tail. What? The sun got a tail? Darryl Kosmon, you nuts? The sun got a tail? Oh, okay, well, let's talk about that. Right here in the book of Owaspy, in the book of cosmogony and prophecy, here's the diagram. Here's a diagram of the sun right here. The sun's heliosphere right here. Here's a diagram. And see the substance going around the heliosphere right here. Watch this. Owaspy diagram of the sun's heliosphere and what heliotail. Huh? And then I want you to look to the right here and look at this image that was provided to us by the Smithsonian. It's the image of a far off star showing its tail. Huh? And Owaspy in 1881 has a diagram of our star, our sun, with the tail, with substances and energy going around the heliosphere. Huh? Huh? Here it is right here. More precepts right here from the Smithsonian. What they say, it says that the sun orbits the center of the Milky Way. As the sun orbits the center of the Milky Way, it passes through what's known as the interstellar medium, a melange of dust and gas and cosmic rays. That's what this stuff is. Cosmic rays and dust and gas going right around the heliosphere. Check it out. Like a ship passing through the ocean, the sun's passes through the interstellar medium causes the sun's magnetic field to build up in front of the solar system and to sweep the sun's magnetic field back in a long tail behind it. Huh? How did Owaspy know the sun had a tail in 1881? How? I challenge somebody to come and debunk this. I challenge you to come and debunk this. Huh? Book of Jehovah, chapter 3, verse 5 through 6. It says, around some of my corporeal worlds, I have given nebulous belts and nebulous rings. Y'all know what Saturn looked like? Y'all know what Saturn looked like? Around some of my corporeal worlds, I have given nebulous belts and rings so that man can comprehend the rotation. of my Vortexian worlds, huh? What did the creator say? The creator said, look for signs. When you see the rings on Saturn, you see rotation. You see the Vortexian current there. You see layers. Hmm? Hmm? For each and every corporeal world, I created a vortex first. For each and every corporeal world, I created a vortex first. Vortex is the first step in the process. Huh? Genesis says this. It says, let there be light, and there was light. There was no process. How was a sun created without vortex? God. Huh? How was an earth created without vortex? God. Huh? It doesn't hurt to ask those questions. It doesn't hurt to want to know the process and the way of created things. That's why Owaspy is here as the new revelation. But it's not the end all be all. Huh? For each and every corporeal world, I created a vortex first. And by its what? Its rotation. Here we go with rotation. And from the places in the firmament where it traveled, I caused the vortex to do what? Conceive a corporeal world. Give me a second, y'all. For each and every corporeal world, I created a vortex first. And by its rotation, and from the places in the firmament where it traveled, I caused the vortex to do what? To conceive a corporeal world. When I showed the experiment with the bowl of water, and the substance in the water, and I stirred it up, what did it do? It conceived something else from the substance that I put into it. I stirred it up, and it conceived a mass. Watch this. Watch this. Conceive. Conceive the corporeal world. For each and every corporeal world, I created a vortex first. So there was a vortex before there was a world, but then it says to conceive the corporeal world. So what do we think about when we think of conceive? What do we think of when we think of conceive? On a biological level, not on a planetary level. What do we think of when we think of conceive? We think of what? We think of pregnancy. We think of pregnancy. I want y'all to pay attention to this. We think of pregnancy. Conceive. It means to become pregnant with what? With young. To cause, to begin, or originate. So here it is. We are like worlds also being created by a vortex. We are like worlds also being created by a vortex. Y'all think I'm crazy, don't y'all? If for each and every corporeal world, there's a vortex first. If I am a world, was I created by vortex? Was I created by vortex? Let's see. Let's see if we were created by vortex. Y'all see what this say right here? This is going to get deep. Y'all see what this say right here? I'm going to blow this article up right here from the Big Think. Do y'all see what this says right here? It says the effects of vortex and mortal conception. Check out this headline from Big Think. This is the source. It says sperm does not slither. They swim in a what? A corkscrew motion. Sperm does not slither. Sperm swims in a corkscrew drilling, spiraling motion. All right. And guess what? This article was created August 16th, the year 2020. It says new research reveals that because of an optical illusion, we've been reviewing sperm incorrectly for nearly 350 years. They've been seeing it wrong. They thought that it slithered, but instead of it slithering, it does what? It swims in a corkscrew motion. Uh-oh. The creator said for each and every corporeal world, I did what? I created a vortex first. Now here we have sperm cells. Instead of them wiggling or slithering, they drill. They swim in a corkscrew motion. They spiral like vortex. Here we go. Let's read what the article says from Business Insider. This is another source. Precept upon precept. The sperm body does what? It spins. See, we're looking for signs of what? Vortex. We're looking to the works when we're looking for signs of vortex. The sperm body spins at the same time that the tail does what? Rotates around the swimming direction. Sperm drills into the fluid like a spinning top by rotating itself while its tilted axis rotates around the center. Uh-oh, come on, y'all. This is known in physics as what? Precession. Much like precession of the equinoxes in our planet. Uh-oh. Now watch this. Watch this from a waspy, y'all. In Book of Cosmogony and Prophecy, chapter 3, verse 25. It sounds mighty similar to what it said right here in the source. Watch this. Verse 25 from the Book of Cosmogony and Prophecy says this: though the general form of a vortex, as already stated in its beginning, is what? Long. Then it's funnel shaped like a whirlwind. Its ultimate is toward a globular form. And though the current of vortex is spiral at first, yet its currents ultimate toward less spirality. Listen up. If one could imagine a very long serpent, If one could imagine a very long serpent in spiral form, like what? A sperm cell? Hmm? If one could imagine a very long serpent in spiral form, constantly turning its head and at one pole and its tail at the other, and continuously crawling up its own spirality. Such a view would somewhat illustrate the currents of vortex. But wait a minute, let's pay attention to this. It say what? It says it's a very long serpent in spiral form and constantly turning its head in at one pole and its tail at the other. Let's go back to the article real quick. What did you say happens here? Sperm drills into the fluid like a spinning top by rotating itself while its tilted axis rotates around the center. This is known in physics as a precession, huh? Much like the precession of the equinox of our own planet. Look, the sperm body spins at the same time the tail rotates around the swimming direction. Come on, y'all. I'm not making this up. Huh? This ain't made up. Look at this here. Huh? Look at this here. Let's talk about the 4 stages of vortex. Let's talk about these 4 stages of vortex. Watch this, man. Watch this, y'all. Pay attention. The first stage of vortex is a what? A helical. It's a helical in shape. It said the first stage of vortex is helical in shape. Let's make the connection. The first stage of vortex is what? Helical in shape. On April 25th, 1953, Francis Clark and James Watson published their infamous article that showed the shape of DNA. The shape of DNA is a what? A double helix. This wasn't until 1953. Huh? Here's the first stage of vortex as described in OWASP by what? In 1881. In 1881. Huh? Huh? DNA is helical. That's the first stage of vortex. But guess what? The sperm carries the DNA, which is helical, while it's spinning toward the egg, spinning in motion. Watch this. The head of the sperm contains what? DNA, which when combined with the egg's DNA will what? Create a what? A new individual. Huh? That's where the DNA is at. Look, for each and every corporal world, I created a vortex first. We got the Vortexian DNA. We got the Vortexian motion of the sperm cell that carries the Vortexian motion, the Vortexian pattern of the DNA, which is the first stage of vortex. Huh? Watch this. So far, we have the helical vortex DNA that's being carried by the sperm cell that is spinning. Here are the 4 stages. This is the 4 stages of planetary vortex resemble the early stages of development. Watch this. The 4 stages of planetary vortex resemble the early stages of development. Watch this. I should say embryological. Spelled that wrong as hell. The 4 stages of planetary vortex resembles the early stages of embryo development. Check this out, y'all. As above, so below. Right here, it says for each and every corporeal world, I created a vortex first. I've already proved vortex in the DNA. I've already proved vortex in the sperm cell. Watch this. As above, so below. Here are the 4 stages of vortex from OWASP in 1881. Now, so below, watch this. Look at this. I'm going to let this sit for a minute, then we're going to slow it down and break it down. Look at the resemblance. All right, watch this. Let's break it down, y'all. This is about to get crazy. Here we go. We proving vortex on a planetary cosmic level. Now we down in the embryo, y'all. We're gonna prove it in the embryological level. Check it out. Primary vortex. Here it is the first stage of vortex, like we just showed, the helical vortex. The power that makes planets, right here. The first stage of vortex. First stage of vortex and the beginning of cometary existence. Wait, the what? Cometary existence. Cometary existence. A whirlwind in the Ethereal heavens. Now check this out. DNA is the substance to make a new individual and is carried by the cometary sperm cell. I'm gonna say that one more time. I want y'all to think I'm as crazy as possible, and I'll break it down with the sources. I'm like, oh my God, oh my goodness, this is nuts. DNA is the substance to make a new individual and is carried by the cometary sperm cell. I did. A sperm cell is a biological comet. Y'all see that right there? I want y'all to let that sink in a second when I say it. A sperm cell is a biological comet. It is a biological comet. Here we go. All right, let's get into it from the source. This is from NASA Science. Comets Facts. Watch this. They have been referred to as dirty balls. That's what they call dirty snowballs. That's what they call comets. They have been referred to as dirty snowballs. They may yield important clues about the formation of our solar system. But check this out. Comets may have brought water and organic compounds, the building blocks of life, Comets may have brought what? The building blocks of life to the early Earth and other parts of our solar system. You got it? Got it? Okay. What does the sperm cell deliver? Here it is. It's saying that comets possess the building blocks of life. Now watch this. Let's go back and remind ourselves. What does the sperm cell deliver? Here's what it delivers. This is from the National Institute of Health as the source. Sperm are highly adapted to delivering what? Their DNA to the egg. Sperm delivers the DNA. But guess what? It says right up here. It says right up here about comets that they possess the building blocks of life. DNA is the building blocks of life. Watch this. What is DNA? What is DNA? DNA right here from the, what is the source? I want to make sure I get the National Cancer Institute. Okay. So this came from the National Cancer Institute. DNA is made up of what? DNA is made up of what? 4 building blocks called nucleotides. They are made of 4 building blocks. So DNA possesses the building blocks. Watch this. Watch this. Okay. So now let's hear it. Here it is. Watch this. So the comet and the sperm cell. The comet and the sperm cell not only have similar physical appearances or descriptions of a head and a tail, but they also both carry DNA. Look at that. They also both carry DNA. Okay, well, let's keep investigating. Let's keep doing it. Here's the precept. Is there DNA on comets? Is there DNA on comets? Here's the precept. Here's from another source. The molecular building blocks of life are organic compounds that can be assembled into what? Proteins, RNA and DNA in living cells. To date, scientists have found most of these compounds in what? Meteorites, comets, and interstellar dust. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, let's keep pushing the issue, Darryl Kosmon. Let's read the headline from Science News. It says all of the bases of DNA and RNA have now been found in what? Meteorites. Uh-oh. It's looking pretty dangerous now, ain't it? Huh? Okay. Well, let's keep on going. Look at the physical description right here. Here it is. Look. It's okay. So look. So if the sperm cell carries the DNA to the egg, do comets and space dust carry these life-producing substances to the Earth? I'm gonna say that one more time. So if the sperm cell carries the DNA to the egg, do comets that also possess DNA, do they carry these life-producing substances of the building blocks of life? Did they carry them to the Earth? Did they carry them to the Earth? Now, before we get into the additional sources, we're going to read from the book of Jehovah. I want y'all to remember this question right here. We're going to read from the book of Jehovah, chapter 5, verse 12 through 14. Watch this. The Great Spirit said, and this shall be testimony before all men that I created each and all the living after their own kind. Such is my person and my spirit, being from everlasting to everlasting. And when I bring a new world into the time of Simu, we read this earlier in the presentation about Semu. When I bring a new world into the time of Semu, my presence quickens the substance into life. And according to the locality and the surroundings, I bring forth the different species, for they are flesh of my flesh and spirit of my spirit. To themselves, I gave to themselves. Nevertheless, they are all members of my person. We are all members of creation. We are all members of the created universe. Now, hold on. Watch this. This is what I want y'all to pay attention to right here in verse 14. Pay attention to verse 14. As a testimony to man, behold, the earth was once a what? A globe of liquid fire. We went over that already. Nor was there any seed on it, nor was there any seed on the earth. But in due season, I did what? I rained down Samu on the earth. Now, if y'all been paying attention and y'all putting 2 and 2 together, y'all know where I'm going with this. If sperm cell carries the DNA, and comets carry the DNA. And what does the creator say right here? I rained down Samu on the earth. Watch this. What is Semu? What is Semu? In a WASP glossary, this is what Semu is. Semu is commingled earth, air, water, heat, and thick atmosphere. But I want y'all to pay attention to this. Semu is protoplasm-like. This Semu that Owaspy speaks of is protoplasm-like. Okay, well then now that raises more questions. Well, what is protoplasm? I want y'all to pay attention. We're getting there. Watch this. What is protoplasm? Protoplasm is a physically translucent, granular, slimy, semi-fluid, or viscous. In it, there are granules of different shapes and sizes. These are granules are called small molecules. That's what, or substances. That's what a granule is. And these granules are of different shapes and sizes are suspended in solution. Now, wait a minute now. Now, this almost sounds like semen or semen. This semu sounds similar to semen, but then the way this protoplasm is described, it sounds like semen. Now, y'all think I'm crazy, but hold on. Now, when you define semen, after you define protoplasm, look at the similarities that I highlighted in orange. What is semen? It is a viscid whitish fluid of the male reproductive tract consisting of spermatozoa suspended in secretions. But wait a minute. So look, both of these right here is a cosmic semen. I want y'all to let that sink in for a second. This means that Samu is a cosmic semen. I already called a sperm cell a biological comet, but now I'm calling Semu a cosmic semen. Watch this. I want this to be funny to y'all because watch how I break this. Watch how this get broken down with the sources. Okay, watch this. Okay, so Samu is a protoplasm-like substance. Watch this. Let's break it down. Watch this. Why did I come to this? Samu is a protoplasm-like substance. Protoplasm is viscous, slimy, and gummy, and contains granules, meaning small particles or substance suspended in solution. Semen is also viscous, is slimy or gummy, and contains granules, small particles in solution, such as the sperm cell, and they're suspended in solution. Watch this. Watch this. So here's the next question. Then. Is there DNA in protoplasm? Okay, so let's read from Wikipedia real quick. I know y'all don't like Wikipedia, but hey, I've been using some good sources up until now. But watch this. Is there DNA in this protoplasm? Okay, there are about 35 elements like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, sulfur, calcium, and many others which are identified in protoplasm of different cells. They form compounds. Look, they form compounds like water, carbohydrates, ions, proteins, lipids, and guess what? Protoplasm also possess DNA and RNA. Wow. We're getting closer to something here. Okay, so let's put it together. Okay, so protoplasm and semen, they're both viscous, they're both slimy and gummy, they contain granules and small particles, and they're both suspended in solution, and they both possess DNA. They both possess DNA. Okay, well, here's the next question. If DNA has been discovered on comets, Is DNA on comets in the substance we call protoplasm? Does DNA exist on comets in the form of protoplasm? Okay, watch this. Now remember, Book of Jehovah 12 through 14, it states, or Book of Jehovah 14, it stated this. It says, as a testimony to man, behold, the earth was once a globe of liquid fire, nor was there any seed on it. But in due season, I rained down Samu on the earth and created the living. Watch this next source. Is protoplasm on, does comets carry DNA in protoplasm? Is there protoplasm on comets carrying DNA? Watch this. Oumuamua, I don't know how to pronounce that damn name. Oumuamua changed things. What is Oumuamua? It's a cosmic visitor, a comet. When this cosmic visitor, scientists aren't sure if this is a 700-foot long object. If this 7 foot, sorry, oh my God, let me start over. Oumuamua changed things. When this cosmic visitor sailed through our solar system last year, they don't know if it's an asteroid or a comet. When this cosmic visitor sailed through our solar system last year, the Harvard scientists realized that large objects might be able to do what? To seed life over light years of distance, even across the galaxy. But check this out, y'all. This is possible, they suggest, because there are ways to accelerate the bio package to velocities far greater than any dirt clod, and have it gravitationally captured by some other star system where it hangs around. Eventually collides with a planet and delivers what? This comet delivers what? A protoplasm filled package. Huh? It delivers a protoplasm filled package. Precept upon precept. Look, the discovery by an international team with NASA researchers gives more evidence that chemical reactions in asteroids can make some of life's ingredients, which could have been delivered to ancient Earth by meteorite impacts or perhaps the infall of dust. This is an article written April 26, 2022, in NASA. How did Owaspy know the existence of Simu, which is protoplasm on comets, in 1881? How? Here we go. That was just the first stage of vortex, but these next stages go pretty quick. Second stage of vortex, period of nebula formation and conjunction of the eccentric cores. Also the beginning of the cyclic position. See, the second phase of vortex, the sperm cell. The first one was the DNA. The second one is the sperm cell. The third age of vortex is called work. Now called work because the condensing nebula engenders heat within the embryonic world. There's the illustration right there from Owaspy in 1881. There's a sperm cell entering the egg. Here are comets colliding with the star or planet being formed. This is what happens. This is the third age of vortex. Now here's the fourth age of vortex. The fourth age of vortex is called the inqua. It's a ball within a ball. It's a ball within a ball. That's what the fourth stage is. The now called inqua, a ball within a ball, or a womb of vapor that is a ball of corpora within a sphere of air. The Earth is surrounded by the Earth is in a gaseous ball called the atmosphere. And then, like matter, there's our human inside the amniotic sac. It's a world within a world. We got the baby inside the amniotic sac, inside the womb, and we got the Earth inside the womb of atmosphere. Hmm? 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 If we look even deeper, will we still find signs of vortex? We found signs of vortex in the DNA. We found signs of vortex in the sperm cell. What about this? Look, we find signs of vortex also in the umbilical cord. We find signs of vortex in the umbilical cord. Check it out. Here's the source, the Journal of Pediatrics. It says the umbilical cord is also what? Spiraled. It says the umbilical cord is also what? Spiraled. A counterclockwise spiral is more frequent than a clockwise spiral. The origin of umbilical cord coiling is what? Unknown. They don't even know why or how the umbilical cord coils. But we showed y'all on many levels before the umbilical cord is even developed that there is spinning. There is vortex taking place in our embryological development. Check it out. It says the origin of the umbilical cord coiling is unknown. But check out the hypothesis they made just after the information I provided everybody. It says hypotheses include fetal movements, active or passive torsion on the embryo. Well, damn, we've been over that already. So we years ahead of them. They hypothesized that some torsion has been taking place in the fetal world, on the fetal level. I'm showing vortex in the spinal, in the umbilical cord. I ain't making this up. It exists. What is torsion? Torsion is the state of what? Being twisted. It is a state of being twisted, Now let's go even deeper. What is the function of the umbilical cord? Okay, well, the umbilical cord is considered both the physical and emotional attachment between mother and fetus. But check it out. The structure does what? It allows for the transfer of oxygen and nutrients from the maternal circulation into fetal circulation while simultaneously removing waste products. But check it out. It allows for the transfer of oxygen and nutrients. So oxygen and nutrients does what? It spirals and circulates throughout the umbilical cord, much like how vortex does what? Pulls substance toward the center. It pulls substance toward the center. So all the oxygen and all the nutrients, all the irons and the zincs and all the healthy metals and all the healthy vitamins, they get driven toward the center of our being to develop the embryo. Wow. The same way the vortex drives substances toward the center to create the sun, moon, and stars, in like manner do the nutrients spiral through the umbilical cord and are driven toward our center to develop our corporeal bodies. Come on now. Come on now. Book of Inspiration. Y'all think I'm crazy? Look what it's saying. Book of Inspiration, chapter 1, verse 24 and 25. Right here. Look. It says, you are like the center. We are like the center. When we are attached to the umbilical cord being developed, we are the center. That's the center right there. We are like the center, and all things are coming to us, what? From without. When we was in the womb and our mom was eating the food and the food was being digested and it was taking out the nutrients, It was driven toward our center through the umbilical cord to develop us. Watch this. It says your knowledge, but wait up. It says your knowledge as well as what? Our corporeality came to us from the outside, That from which is external to ourselves. But look, let's keep on pushing it though. It says the navel, which is another name for the belly button, the official name for the belly button, the navel, the belly button. It takes varying shapes of the spiral pattern of our umbilical cord. Did y'all know that? The navel takes varying shapes of the spiral pattern of our umbilical cords and marks the center of our vortexian generation in the womb. Oh, y'all think I'm crazy? Let's look at all these umbilical cord shapes. Let's look at these belly button shapes taken of babies, and then let's look at these galaxies and compare the resemblance. Y'all see how some belly buttons, when they heal, they spiral? Y'all see how some belly buttons, when they heal, they're regular, like these galaxies right here? Some of them are regular, Some of them don't come out of perfect spiral. Look at this. Huh? So when we look at the belly button, when we look at our navels, that's the center of our corporeal generation while we was in the womb. For each and every corporeal world, I created a vortex first. That's what the creator said. Huh? Huh? Oh, wait, y'all thought it was over? This ain't even over yet. Oh, wait a minute. Wait till y'all see this one. Let's talk about the spiral pattern during development. This source is the medical journal, the SA Medical Journal, South African Medical Journal. Look, the spiral pattern during development. Check out the spiral pattern during development. Look, the creator said this. The creator said, for each and every corporeal world, I created a what? A vortex first. I created a vortex first. Y'all know what we look like when we embryos? Look at that. We all curled up and spiraled in the womb like this early on. Okay, well, let's read the source. What does the source have to say about this? The underlying process by which the animal ovum becomes transferred into the fully developed animal remains one of the mysteries of biology. While examining early vertebrate embryos, it was observed that the cells are not haphazardly clumped together, as is generally described, but are in fact arranged in a spiral pattern consisting of two helical spirals alongside each other. Look at this, y'all. This is what we look like in the womb. Curled up like a vortex. Huh? An investigation was therefore decided upon to determine to what extent, if any, this spiral pattern persists during embryological development. It is the aim of this article to demonstrate that if carefully looked for what? Reading, carefully observed. We went over this in the beginning of the presentation. If carefully looked for and interpreted, a spiral pattern can be detected throughout the stages of what? Embryological development. Huh? How did a WASP get this information in 1881? How did a WASP get this information in 1881? Hey, we ain't even done yet. Did y'all know this? Did y'all know that human eggs emit zinc sparks at the moment of fertilization? Did y'all know that human eggs emit zinc sparks at the moment of fertilization? This is the source from US News. It says when a sperm meets an egg, sparks fly. When a sperm meets an egg, sparks fly, literally. According to a study published in Scientific Reports, an explosion of zinc fireworks occurs when a human egg is activated by a sperm enzyme. The intensity of the sparks, scientists say, indicates the egg's potential to develop into a healthy embryo. Now hold on now. Watch this. Watch this in Book of Judgment, chapter 2, verse 24. Watch this in Book of Judgment, chapter 2, verse 24. What does it say? It says, the Great Spirit says, out of the darkness, man is brought forth a what? A blank. And his entity is a what? A spark. It's a spark of the great spirit. Hold on. Out of the darkness, man has brought forth a blank, and his entity is a what? A spark of the great spirit. Now, wait a minute. Here it is right here. It says his entity will never cease to grow. Yes, from the hour of what? From the hour of what? From the hour of what? From the hour of conception, it is a what? A new star in the world. Huh? It is a new star in the world. Wait, from the hour. Wait a minute. What you say? Wait a minute. Human eggs emit zinc sparks at the moment of fertilization. Huh? But wait a minute. In Book of Judgment, chapter 2, verse 24, it states, wait a minute. It say, wait a minute. Yes, from the hour of conception, from the hour of conception, it is a what? A new star in the world. And it magnifies itself forever. Hmm? How? 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 Huh? How? How in 1881 did Owaspy get this information? This is Vortex on a biological, embryological level. We showed it in the cosmos. Then we showed it in development, in the embryological development. We showed it. We showing and proving. We showing and proving. Huh? Book of Judgment, chapter 20, verse 8 through 10, and verses 13 through 14. It says this. It says, because of the ever presence of Jehovah, we were quickened into a conscious being. As our earth bodies is of the earth, so is our spirit of Jehovah, the great spirit. Nevertheless, spirit is the opposite of corporeal life. For the latter comes to an end, but the spirit of man is what? A tree of everlasting life. Our spirit grows by cultivation, which is the practice of wisdom, the practice of truth, the practice of virtue, the practice of benevolence, and affiliation with others. Do not think that the soul grows by prayers or confessions to this God or that God. Do not think that the soul grows by confessions, prayers and confessions to this God or that God. For no one shall be exalted for words without works. Yet in whatever God you firmly believe, you may worship him, for guess what? He is your choice. He is your choice, nor shall any man prevent you in this liberty. Huh? I'm not twisting anybody's arm to believe this information. I'm just presenting it to you. I'm not telling you need to believe it. Huh? You got to see it for yourself. You can keep your God. You can keep your Bible. I'm not telling you to abandon it. That's a choice that you have to make. That's not a choice that any man can make for you. Huh? And I said at the beginning of this presentation that the Creator does not want us bound to any books. The Creator said that the inspiration comes less by books. That includes Owaspy. The inspiration comes less by books than by what the Great Spirit wrote. And that's his created universe. That's his reality. So Owaspy ain't even the end all be all. Huh? Huh? So keep your God. Because once you're ready to denounce or renounce any God, that's a choice that you got to make. That's your liberty. Huh? That's a matter that's on you. But check it out. Nevertheless, if you worship a God, then let such God be a role model to you to cast your eyes into your own soul, to introspect. We talked about that at the beginning. To introspect. You got to cast your eyes into your own soul and examine and introspect what your inspiration is that you receive from that which was external to you. The God we choose to follow is a role model. Huh? So if you have a God that tells you to sacrifice your kids, and you would willingly sacrifice your kids if that God told you to, that's the reason why you would, because you chose that God as a role model. Huh? If you hate the white man or if you hate Esau, it's because your God hates Esau and hates the white man or whatever it is, and you follow right behind him. If your God is angry and jealous and want war, then guess what? You're going to be angry and wrathful and want war too. Why? Because the God you chose is your role model. If your God allows you to smite other nations and to even kill the babies who are innocent to the universe, huh? That's what your soul gonna be filled up with. Just being genuine about it. Just be real with yourself. Just be genuine. In that respect, it is no sin to worship any good ideal whom you shall emulate in your behavior. Huh? Let me see. It's 9:30. We started at what, 7? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and hold on. Trying to think what I want to do. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and close it. It's getting late. A lot of the stuff I'm not gonna be able to touch on, but check it out. I'm gonna go ahead and close it up. I'm gonna wrap it up saying this, y'all. Look, I'm gonna wrap it up and say this. As I prove vortex on a cosmic level, I prove vortex on a biological level. Okay, that's all I'm gonna give y'all tonight. But I'm gonna shut it down like this. In Book of Inspiration, chapter 1, verse 23 to 25, it states this: as the whirlwind gathers up dust and drives it toward the center, so is the plan of my created universe. We are like the center, and all things come to us from without. Our knowledge, as well as our corporality, came to us from the outside, from that which is external to ourselves. Huh? And so, look, for each and every corporeal world, this is what the Creator stated. For each and every corporeal world, the Great Spirit created a vortex first. So before we can let there be light, there must first be vortex. Love and light to you, family. Love and light. Love and light. Look, I'm gonna stay open for another half hour till 10. If Kareem is up for it, I'm gonna let people come on in and ask their questions or get their feelings out, whatever it is they want to do. I'm gonna go ahead and chill for another half hour and let that happen. So go ahead, Kareem, go ahead and drop the link. Let's go ahead and drop the link and we can chop it up. Y'all come on in. Open discussion. You know what? I think I'm able to drop the link. Hold on one second, y'all. I can drop the link for y'all. 1 second. Let me see. What's something like that? Yeah, all praises to the ever-present great spirit, whose magnitude is incomprehensible and whose presence is everywhere. And without the virtue of his presence, nothing will be made possible. Anybody got any questions? Anybody want to come in, want to come chop it up? If not, we're gonna go ahead and shut this thing down. We're gonna go ahead and shut it down. Come on, I don't bite. Hey, 1 second, Calvin. Let me call Karima so she can let you in. Hold on. Let me give her a call real quick. I don't think she had the computer. Here she come right now, Cal. Yep. What's up with you, baby?
What's going on, bro, man?
What's going on with you,
Peace,
bro?
bro.
Love and light to you. Love and light to you, big bro. Look, I had a lot more to say, man, but the time is like going crazy, man.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
was over a lot of people's head, man, and you don't want to cram it in too dense.
Right.
Where they won't be able to get it, you know what I mean, man? But boy, you was on fire tonight, bro.
Yes, sir.
You was on
man.
fire. You dig what I'm talking about? The one, but what got me was the
your background is tripping, man.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see. I'll cut it off.
Now go ahead though.
What got me was when you showed that creators said the things that make up all corporeal things are rained on the planet, right? The DNA, you know what I mean, is rained on the planet. And then you went and showed that in meteorites that have come from deeper outer parts of space and crashed onto Earth, they got the building blocks of every part of DNA in it, the A, the C, the T, and the G. You dig what I'm saying? I just wanted to, it was a lot of tomfoolery going on in the chat. You dig what I'm talking about while you was up here building. So I had to hold it down for you. You dig what I'm saying? But it was a lot of dumb shit going on. But a lot of these brothers ain't really built like that. You know what I mean? So, once big dogs step out, start barking, they cower on down. You dig what I'm talking about? They get to talking. They get to talking, but they don't never show nothing. You dig what I'm talking? You dig what I'm talking about? They don't do anything in life. Period. They go work for somebody else and come home and sit on YouTube and talk shit all day. You dig what I'm talking about?
What's crazy about that, Kyle, is when I took a little short absence from social media just recently, I had to, do some introspection myself. And I had came to a point where I was like, I do this. I don't do this to really conflict with others that don't agree. I do this to speak past them towards ones that have the ears to hear, whether it's physical or whether it's in a spirit. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm here for. So anybody can go into the chat and they can talk all kind of shit all they want to. It's not them I'm talking to, because obviously they're a waste of time. Is those that I'm looking past them and talking to them. And so you'd be surprised just how many times I've done these presentations and then I would get hit up by people that don't even appear in the chat. Those are the people that I'm talking to. Those are the people that want to understand and know more. See what I'm talking about? So yeah, but I appreciate y'all going ahead and going toe to toe with them in the chat, man. So yeah, do that.
I'm gonna do me. It's easy. It's easy for me. I want to beat them up. You dig what I'm talking about? I want to make them look foolish because they don't know what they're dealing with.
Notice this though, Calvin. Before you proceed, notice this. I stayed on the line for an additional, up until for some additional time, because if you got some feelings, you got to get out. There's the link. Click the link and let's come talk about it.
Your fingers ain't broke. Hit the link. Everybody, a lot of people had a lot to say while you was up there, and that's why I came up here. You dig what I'm talking about? A lot of people had a lot to say.
Salute, Lisa Williams.
But now they in the lion's den acting like kitty cats. There ain't no lions no more. You dig what I'm talking about? Where all that courage at? Where all that heart, all that roaring you was doing in the chat room?
Right. I mean, to me, it's like this. Hey, I'm behind enemy lines. I'm out here in the open. I'm out here in the open behind enemy lines. I opened it up. If you got something to say, click the link and come say what you got to say. You real mouthy in the chat though.
Right.
You real mouthy in the chat though.
I do this in real life too. Not just in these YouTube streets. So I mean, you know, so keep it to the knowledge. Keep it to the knowledge and be civil, because I'm gonna tear you apart. I'm not what you want. Kosmon is not what you want. I will embarrass you. Any of you on any topic. I will embarrass you. This is why they duck the game, because we not what you think we is. If you thought we was some soft ass, oh, holy, hit the knees ass niggas, you got a whole nother thing coming. Jaja sent 4 stomp down niggas to push this word out here. Now what you gonna do? You gonna barbecue or are you gonna mildew? Because either way, Creator is undefeated. Man, the brother Darryl, let me get this out. The brother Darryl, just like you said, and I agree. He's not talking to y'all who can't get it. We understand and overstand that you can't understand this. Even if you tried, you're not spiritually ripe enough or high raised enough to perceive light at this level. So we get why you can't. You dig what I'm talking about? We get why you can't. They got a lot to say, but you know, I can prove this, I can prove that. Prove it then, bitch. To me, you just talking. I know y'all hoes in y'all heart. You dig what I'm talking about? You come from a long line of hoe ass niggas. You dig what I'm talking about? So it don't surprise me that you acting like a broad, doing all that talking in the chat, but won't hit the link. Won't catch this fade with somebody who trying to punch you and your God in a face. So what's up? If not, man, just leave the gang alone. Just come on around and be civil, and we'll be civil. But if you thought you was gonna be able to just get away with anything you wanted to say, nigga, no, y'all hoes, and y'all can't even be around me. You dig what I'm talking about? I'm talking about y'all hoe ass niggas in real life, like your mama birthed a hoe, so you can't even be around me doing all that fake phony. You dig what I'm talking about? Whatever. He said we used the slide to prove evolution. Dumbass nigga, ain't no evolution. That's why I stay barking on them. You dig what I'm talking about? Because I know they hoes. Cowards in your heart.
Hey, and that's what I admire about you. You see what I'm talking about? And that's what I admire about you, and that's what I admire about 4 of us, is that we all in the same band and play a different instrument, because we all in tune. You see what I'm talking about? And I don't, you know,
they must not know I'm Raphael.
Right. I don't never judge y'all for what y'all be doing. I love it. Like, I hear you talking about, you telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's not something I would express in such a fashion, but you telling the truth.
Right.
So I ain't mad at you.
I mean, they be acting like they want the smoke. No, you found the nigga who won't. I'm a real Indian, big chief.
Yeah, because guess what? Because guess what? Here's the proof. Here's the proof. If it wasn't the truth, they'd be right here, right now.
They'd be right here trying to nitpick, point, doing anything, ask questions, do anything. Cowards. Your mama birthed a coward, and I know it. I smell it on you. You dig what I'm talking about? See, this thing ain't on me. Shout out to the West Coast Connect, man. Shout out to my boy Dreadful Kosmon. This stuff ain't on me. It's in me. I was never faking. I was never playing. Listen, I ain't had a video game since the first Nintendo. Not because I couldn't have one. I don't like games. So play with your kids. Pick your nose. Do whatever you got to do. But you come for Kosmon, you come for any of the gang, you're out of there. I'ma get you out of there. You dig what I'm talking about? Don't start being a hoe now. You dig what I'm talking about? Talking about heavens get, man, you niggas is clowns. Hit the link.
I'm gonna go and give him a few more minutes, man, and close out.
Yeah, they don't see, they don't understand how you can be a thug, a for real 100% man, willing to stand on everything that I say and still be spiritual. They think you gotta be soft. Nigga, no, that's the Kosmon era. I'll beat you up and then heal you up. What are you gonna do about it? You can't fight. You don't have enough knowledge to fight back. So I'm gonna beat you up. And I know
you gonna bust their, you gonna say you gonna bust their ribs open and drop
man,
off.
I'm gonna beat them up in front of their mama.
Man, hell no.
You gonna have, I'm gonna make you fight. I don't know what y'all think going on over here, but you better, you gonna get some goddamn common sense about yourself and some class when you dealing with the gang. Or we got something for you. You dig what I'm talking about? We got something for you. On every level, however you want to do it. You want to keep it to the knowledge? I would suggest that. But you're gonna lose there. Even listen, you better keep it there. Because if it go past anything else, you got a problem. You got a problem.
Bro, I sourced up tonight, bro. They cut them short. When they
Yeah,
Vortex and sourced up on everything, boy. You gotta, hey, don't get mad at me. It's right there in the science.
Yeah, I don't do the tough guy talk neither. You dig what I'm talking about? I'm gonna make you prove you tough. And we don't take kindly to threats. We don't do none of that. You dig what I'm talking about? But see, I know y'all are unintelligent. So that's why I call you to the floor. I know you're slow. Garden State boss, I know you're stupid. Come bring that bachelor MBA up here and try to box with Kosmon. Boy, your arm's too short to touch God, nigga. Come up here, watch me beat you to death. With the knowledge, I'm not even gonna fight you physically. You would really be dead then. But I'm talking about with the knowledge.
Yeah, man. Hey, shout out to Dreadful who came through. Shout out to Honor and Humility. Shout out to your mama, that's wifey. Shout out to Shaw Reese. You know what I'm talking about? Lisa Williams, you came through, sis. Thanks for coming in support. Look at Honor and Humility, my brother Malachi Maccabee, one of the four horsemen. Michelangelo, the four horsemen, brother. Welcome. Huh?
Yeah, it was a fire lesson, bro. It's crazy. You did what I'm talking about, but we're gonna address everything. You did what I'm talking about. When you leave from around us, you gonna know you had conversation with men. You dig what I'm talking about? If you want to get on the phone, I ain't hard to find. My phone number is 313-656-9541. I ain't hard to find. If you want to set up a debate, whatever, y'all hit me in the chat, Kosmon Cal TV. And I'm sorry I had to go there, but you gonna learn. You're going to learn to stop being disrespectful. And just because you're going through cognitive dissonance and don't understand what's being said, don't mean somebody lying to you. All you got to do is get a pen and piece of paper, take a couple notes, save the video. Go back and see if what the brother is saying is true. And he's sourced up on everything. There's nothing he said tonight that he didn't source up on. If you learn tonight for the very first time ever in your life, just be real, right? If you learn tonight for the first time that the building blocks of DNA comes from the sky and is in comets, the iodine, the thymine, the guanine, the cyanine, all that stuff is in meteorites that come from deep space. If you learned that for the very first time tonight, hit your boy with a 1 in the chat. Because most people don't know that the building blocks of genetics come from the sky. And it's already been proven. And they've been holding and had this information since the 1960s. They didn't want to bring it out because they found 2 of them at first. And then found another 2. Right? They've been holding this info since 64. Right? Niggas acting like they didn't heard that the building blocks of genetics fall from the sky. You dig what I'm talking about? Y'all lying if you say you heard that anywhere else. You lying.
And they can't even use it. If you're a Bible believer, you can't use nothing like that for anything.
Right.
You can't use nothing like that for anything. See, I ain't even get that far in the presentation. You can't even use that for anything. Because it's the Big Bang theory that supports the creation story. And once you throw the Big Bang theory out the window, the biblical creation story got to go out the window too.
Well, we ain't even got to throw it out. Science is already thrown out the Big Bang. James Webb Telescope has already debunked the Big Bang theory, and we found solar systems older than when they thought solar systems were even created. They're older. You dig what I'm talking about? James Webb has already debunked Big Bang theory. So I don't know what they talking about. This whole vacuum, the space is a vacuum. Nigga, you ain't nobody never been to space.
They trying to deny vortex and ether. That's what it is. They trying to deny vortex and ether. Once they find vortex and ether, they gonna figure out everything. But you know, but what you got to understand is, and I didn't even touch on this point in the presentation because I was just trying to, you know, just stay on the even keel. But what I'm getting at is there's a lot of bias that takes place in science right now, and a lot of what they call professional scientists, they like to input their own pseudo subjective opinion on something that they observe because they don't want to believe what it is they observe. You see what I'm talking about? And so that thing becomes the what am I trying to say? That just becomes like what the majority tends to believe because they got the power to put it out there and make the majority believe it.
So, I agree.
But yeah,
you dig what I'm saying? But hey, look, y'all come on through, man. Stop acting like that, man. Come hit the link, ask some questions. I know you got questions.
Well, chop it up. You know, somebody come on,
just
chop
it up. Say what up. Say we don't like you. Kosmon, you ugly. You dig what I'm talking about? Your shoes stink. Say something. You dig what I'm talking about? Don't be a zombie out there. You dig what I'm talking about? Don't be a zombie. Come on, talk to your cousin them. I only bite a little bit. You know what I mean? I only bite a little bit. Y'all come on, kick it with my baby bro, Darryl Kosmon, man. Come through putting in fire lessons. I ain't heard nobody, bro. Listen, the only thing that I've heard on this channel, and shout out to the Lions Den, shout out to JJ, shout out to Karima for coming through. Karima a thug on the low too. I like Karima. And
man, Karima be on me rolling, bro. She be in the Lions Den chat.
She's so funny though, bro. But what's funny is that she be being real. You dig what I'm talking about? Man. That's what makes it so funny, because she'll say something so like it'll sound like it's rude, but if it got to that point, you done already did something wrong. And you deserve it. You dig what I'm talking about? You done already did something wrong. Yeah. But that's my baby though. She funny. She funny.
And she be out me rolling.
Man, y'all come on through, man. Hit the link. Come on, chop it up, Kosmonian, man. But like I was gonna say, man, the only thing that even come close, it's not even close, really, right? The highest light I perceived over here, they just had a debate on is the color black. Talk about the color black.
There's Mally.
Yeah, I
Go
think
ahead. Go.
Malachi Maca be in the house.
Hey man, hey, Robert McCall. Hey y'all, hey man, I keep telling y'all, stop playing with my brothers, man. Stop playing with the game. Like there ain't nobody else in the world even talking like what this brother is talking about. And if y'all think this is lick your finger scholarship, I just put it up in the chat. Y'all look up vortex dynamics or vortexian dynamic. Google it. Google it. Everything this brother said tonight not was spot on, is spot on. You feel me? So we got to get past the personal biases. We got to get past, you know what I mean, our personal prejudices and our bigotry and all that. It truly blocks our judgment, discernment, and our progression, our ascension. You know what I mean? If you trying to level up, you can't even step into the realm of spiritual ascension or spiritual anything. You feel me? And you got personal biases and prejudices. It'll block you. Fact of the matter is, objectively proven, from a macro to a micro, from a cosmic down to what's swimming in you Negroes' nutsacks. This brother proved. Hell, hold up your damn fingerprints. If you ever been booked before, you know. They got your vortex on file then. Even your fingerprints are swirling. You go flush the toilet, you got a vortex. You go dry your car. Some of y'all got vortex motors in your cars. There is no motion. There is no light. There is no so-called gravity. There is nothing. There is nothing that you're talking about if it wasn't vortexian energy first, you know what I mean? And the methodology behind it,
Crazy,
revealed through what the brother was bringing out, bro. This is top level, top tier. Look, even Cal just did some videos about Tesla and vortex energy. Tesla, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was deep. That was a good
Bro, I
one.
salute you, bro. The whole presentation was off the chain, fire.
Thanks,
You know
bro.
what I mean?
Much love, bro.
And
Much love,
you know, we ain't worried about. I like what you said. We speaking past the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers.
Speaking
We
past
speak
them.
past them. We ain't even heard from y'all.
You got your mind made up already. I ain't talking to you.
Right. Right.
I ain't talking to you.
Exactly. You know, guess who we talking to though? We talking to your children.
You're talking straight to your babies.
Your children gonna come have this same conversation with you 15 years from now.
And they love some Uncle Kosmon.
Yep, and they love their Uncle Megaton McAfee.
Uncle Kosmon got candy. Yep. He talked that jaja, and he got a pocket full of candy. He like Uncle Kosmon. I don't care if none of y'all niggas like me. Jaja like me.
Now, mama, why y'all don't like him? Because he ain't nothing but good to us. We talking to your babies because the babies get it. It's simple. It resonates with their spirit. They don't need all that. All they need is instruction, and if it vibrate within with them, they rock with it.
They rock with it.
They rock with it. You don't need too much explaining. You ain't got to go over there and say, yeah, the bird was made out of the water, but no, the birds was made out of the ground. And no, it was only 2 by 2 animals that went on the ark. No, it was 7 clean and 2 unclean and purged. But no, it was back to 2 by. We ain't got to do all this milly mouthing and twisting. Nothing. It's simple.
Real simple.
It's straightforward. You know what I mean? And the beautiful thing about Creator is he tell you, I don't quibble about words and names. That's what you do. You want to ask, what do you call them? Jehovah? That's what you milly mouth misfits do. Quibble about names, and the Creator that we rock with say even lords and gods are nothing in my sight.
Nothing in my hand. I trim them up.
And I prune them. Yep, I prune them.
And prune their arches in my own way.
I prune them.
The hell you talking about?
Man.
Everybody that got a problem with the gang is still up under a deity. We not even talking. Look, we not even in the same, not even the same ballpark.
We're not even
God at all today. We're not even talking about the same sport.
No.
You still talking about a God.
Right.
You still talking about a Lord.
The Lord.
Excellent presentation, brother, man. I'm gonna fall back and keep listening, man. But excellent presentation, brother. Keep this coming.
Man,
You
much
already
love,
know.
bro. We got it, man. We got it. You got it. You already got it. You already know, man.
And you know who catch on real quick too? The sisters. The
Big
sisters
facts.
catch on. They catch on a lot faster than the brothers. I think personally, it's because of their what they call their nature, hence being negative or receptive or female, as in energy. You kind of closer to Jaja. You dig what I'm talking about? Because you are the thing that produces, in fact. So I think they're a little closer to the creator, and just, I mean, no better, just a little, you know, their ear be open a little bit more. You know what I mean? And the sisters catch on, and they listen when they around they babies, because they want something that they can listen to, that everybody can listen to and get something out of it. Right? So I salute all you sisters that's out there, man, trying to better your situation for yourself. You must save you. You must save you. You dig what I'm talking about? So in the end of the day, come on home. Pop been waiting on you. He said the street lights is on. Come on home. He ready. And it's so easy. This is literally the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of spirituality. I mean, it's really that simple.
Yep.
You might have to learn a few couple words, but guess what? They're in the back in the glossary.
Yep.
So if you don't know what Vortex, you can look in the back. Oh, Vortex.
Yeah, man. Creator saying in the book Inspiration that I am simple. I am simple.
He says no book.
All you got to do.
No sermon.
Selah Shalom.
Selah,
the 4 horsemen just took over the lion's den. What?
gang in this thing.
Wait a minute. The 4 horsemen just took. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this, dog. Wait a minute. Hold on. Where my screenshot at, man? Wait a minute. The 4 horsemen.
Yeah, you know we had to come through and support our brother, man.
Yeah, you already know, King. You know what I mean? Once one come, we all come, my nigga. We gonna jump your ass every time.
Every time you gonna lose, we gonna jump you. Ain't no fair fight. Ain't no fair fight.
Yeah, you know Kosmon, boy, once he get to talking shit, boy, the spirit gets stirred up and nigga, we there.
Yeah. It is what it is. It's gonna be some apologizing or some fist flying.
Ain't nobody clicking the link now. Damn.
Hey, that was an excellent build, though, King. That was an excellent build. You know what I mean? I don't understand how brothers could disagree when you showing objective facts. And then I could understand if you disagree with the book information and we ain't proving it. You just speaking from a subjective view and you ain't showing no illustrations, no graphs and nothing like that. But the whole time you showing and demonstrating objectively how creation, first of all, how it starts by vortexian current, and that is proven when you look at a galaxy. You see the vortex, and in the center of the vortex, you see the central sun. So that even with that alone, you cannot have a sun without the vortex, just based off the objective view. You don't even have to have a knowledge about no books to understand that. Just objectively observing, you would see that, if this whirlwind...
Everywhere where there's one of these spiraling things, right in the middle, there's a sun.
Exactly. So it's like you don't need no book knowledge to know that. But if you have a book that's explaining that, then the book has merit because it's showing you and identifying with something that is proven to be true. It's not like you said, like when you brought earlier about in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and you was like, well, how? How is light generated? Light has to be generated. It just don't pop out of don't nothing in creation pops out of thin air. A car don't pop out of thin air. A couch don't pop out. TVs don't pop out of thin air.
Right.
Look at the micro
the micro cellular works that goes into building a plasma TV.
Right.
You know what I mean? From
Wow.
resistors, electro. You know, I used to deal with electronic school. You got to deal with resistors on computer boards.
Fact.
You got to start from that level, from those compound element resistors to build up what we're looking at on a flat screen TV today. So what Darryl Kosmon is showing you from the vortex was the compounder resistor of creation. From there, you get inhabitable life.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it's like if you can't understand that, man, yeah, stay your ass away from the game because we ain't playing no games over here, man.
That's wild.
Yeah.
We
And
ain't
Wow.
you know, create a gang mean God and Nervanian goddess, but we street niggas too. We'll smack the shit out of you face to face, man. We don't play no games.
Easy work. Easy
Yeah, that's
work.
wild, man. That's
You know what I
wild.
mean?
Yeah, but I broke it down, man. Sorry, bro. I broke it down. Like I say, like C-Law point, I broke it down, letting them know when God said the earth was formless and without he said it was void and without fixed form. That mean it was a vapor. I broke that down. It was a vapor in the ether. You know what I'm talking about? When God said, let there be light, and there was light, that's not a process. That's the end result. You're not giving me the steps to how that light was generated. You know what I'm talking
all
about?
light must have a source.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a powerful presentation, bro. You know what I mean? We know why whoever can't receive is because it's just their spiritual rate is not there yet.
That's
Right.
all.
You know what I mean? This ain't hard to receive. You know what I mean? If we was talking, y'all, all you gotta do is timestamp it. If we was talking some chop off a damn goat head and chop off, nigga, dissect some organs, yank some organs out, cut off some fat, sacrifice your child, nigga, drink some blood, dismember the victim. If we was talking about any of that, all y'all have to do was go timestamp that shit. If we was talking about, hell yeah, I killed my child if God told, all you would have to do is lick your damn finger and go timestamp it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But we ain't talking about none of that, and that's what convict niggas because they know what they stand on is talking about that. We ain't talking about killing sucklings.
Right. We don't send she-bears to kill 42 children.
Come on.
Or follow a God that's telling his own chosen people to kill each other off by the tens of thousands. Judges 20.
Or sacrifice your daughter, she run up out the house first.
Yeah, y'all niggas ain't got nothing to stand on when it comes to Bible versus Waspy. You know what I mean? I made Tazariak run, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who did that before? And according to the rules, the flyer was made, and if a nigga run, nigga, you crown king because of that. Nigga, I'm king over there. But I ain't even boasting and bragging about it.
You already know what I say. The HOK ain't been the HOK in 2 years. That's not the House of Consciousness. That's the House of Kosmon now.
He said that when we first jumped on there.
The very first time.
Facts.
And look at it.
Look at it.
So it ain't like we some mealy mouth Negroes like Mally say, nigga. We taking down some of the best. Tazariak ran for me. Mally caught him up the block and tore his head off. Zon Lex came to his place. He got his ass handed to him. Kosmon patiently waiting for him to chop a nigga head off. So the gang looking good right now, my nigga. Ain't nobody won over here.
And I got Judah Nash too.
Yeah,
exactly.
Everybody who they top scholars, they got it or they run it.
Exactly.
And we got
you know who will have to next be on the chopping block? That nigga Mighty Hebrew. We'll put that nigga next on the chopping block. He be talking some space bugged out shit.
He go run. Yeah,
I was watching the joint with Nepal and Neftali. That shit was going real good. These niggas come on the show and fuck it up. Him, Mighty Hebrew, and what's the other nigga name? Quina. They come in there and fuck that girl show up, man. That shit was going real good. Yeah, go back and check Nepal and Neftali's show about the Canaanites. They was having a real respectable discussion until they brought Mighty Hebrew and then the other nigga Quina, and they fucked the lady show up.
Damn straight. That's crazy.
I gotta go back and check that out.
Yeah. But excellent build, Darryl, man. You wasn't touched, my nigga. Ain't nobody. This was like a college course. You know when you in class and you in class and the teacher's breaking down some shit and you trying to get your notes together to get it all right. Yeah, that's that type of that type of teaching, my nigga. This ain't no average teaching. This some shit You really got to take notes and study, especially if you ain't familiar with it. We familiar with it, and we still take notes on each other's lessons.
Yeah.
Shit, for sure.
Because something gonna get
Man.
brought out new that you didn't see before.
Man.
Right.
You didn't read the book 1,000 times. This is why OWASP is dope, right? You go in and you gonna see something you didn't see before. I guarantee it. Every time I've opened it, it has blown my mind.
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's
Every
crazy.
time, stuff that I've read over before 5, 6, 700 times, and I go right back up in it, and it's something I'm like, what? Did I just not read this?
What am what am I reading? Like,
Crazy,
how did I
man.
even? I know I read over it.
Yo,
but
Darryl.
what is
my bad.
this?
My bad, Melly. When you went into the protoplasma package, did you go into the materials? Because I know Kosmon broke down the ATCG, so all that's compacted in the plasma package.
Yeah, he put that in the chat earlier today, and I was like, man, what is ATCG? I ain't never heard of that before.
That's the building blocks.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
That's the
I didn't know.
building blocks to DNA.
Yeah, I did that. I didn't read them, but I read the source. That hold on. I got it in. I got it in there. I didn't
Yeah,
go
you
over.
know it. It's just the acronyms of that shit. You know what I mean?
Building block. I went to when I read the article. I stopped at building blocks, but I didn't read I didn't read what they were. But I do have that in the presentation. I do have them in there. The thiamine and all that. I got all that in there.
Right. And then what Bally be saying is a good point. He said, like, yo, the earth is like on a conveyor belt. It takes certain stops, it get a little work done, and then it goes on to the next part of the conveyor belt, get a little work done. But that raining down on Simu, that's just amazing right there. Because in the biblical creation story, it talks about nothing comparison to what the OWASP is talking about: fallen debris, fallen meteorites, fallen nebula that has properties of life.
Got them, bro. They gonna be, bro. I'm gonna do a whole nother presentation, man. Like rocking that whole Genesis 1 and 2 out, man. When I found that protoplasm shit, man, it's game over. It's game over.
And y'all can the next build I'm gonna be doing is on the giant copper colored master builder race, the Ahuans, the giant Negroes of America. My next one is gonna be on the Precambrian and Cambrian so-called explosion, or what is known as the triumph of oxygen on the earth. You dig what I'm talking about? So we getting into it. You dig what I'm talking about? Already taught you how to create an earth. I taught you how to create a star. You dig what I'm talking about? I taught you how to harness your spirit and even tame your diet. You dig what I'm talking about? Kosmon and got in the big people, little people, engines, where you at, wherever you think you want to go. I even had a nigga on my channel debunk the theory of relativity. I got people that's talking about ancient languages. You dig what I'm talking about? Languages we've never heard. And then she's teaching us how to pronounce them today.
Somebody left a comment on the screen. What topic would you challenge Cap on? We dealing with God. What's more important than talking about than God?
He must have came in late though. You already told everybody that Captain ran from you when y'all set up the debate on Sonnet. He must have just came in late.
Right.
And didn't even hear it. And then but he asking about it. Shit, that got blown already, Daniel.
Yeah, that's been a while ago. He already been ran. And then got beat up, or he thought he was gonna get away. He thought he got away. My little bro tripped him.
Now he got him up the block. Now he got him up the block.
Trap.
And then not only that, you remember these niggas was talking all that John Newbro to Dennis. Them niggas ain't respond to that European authorship of the Bible. Yeah. What about Saint Jerome, the necromancer, the niggas who over there playing with dead bodies?
I forgot about that. You did go on there and rip that presentation. Nobody said anything.
Yeah, they can't say
nobody said nothing when I went up there and lit Zion Lex on fire and took his moray status. Or when I took Naphtali's moray status for lying, purposely lying to the people. And for Zion Lex, I took that. And until they come and, first of all, I'm not. We got the rank to do it. Who else gonna do it? Don't nobody else stand by the creator. You dig what I'm talking about? So I took that, and until you come on back and apologize to the people and admit what you did, your shit is gonna keep tanking just like it is now.
But see, they got some serious explaining to do, because that's why I'm glad Mally brought out that Battle of the Holy Books, because we got some serious digging to do, because we talking about my salvation, my destiny, what's gonna happen to me after I die. Nigga, you play with my spirit, so I can't play the rope with you niggas. So y'all talking about God created the earth in 6 days or 6,000 years, nigga. I debunked all that shit. Prove both sides of the story is false. Whether if you believe in a 6-day creation or 6,000-year creation, it's all false, because your Jewish rabbis gave you a starting point of when creation began. 3761 BC being the year 5784. So y'all niggas is done for. We got a starting point when God said, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. We got a starting point for that.
Right.
You got a starting point for that. And when you put that on a timeline with the timetables of prophecy, you niggas gonna lose every time. Because what you're gonna find out is that Adam was born in the year 3761 BC. So that means Narmer would have been running around uniting Upper and Lower Egypt when Adam would have been roaming around somewhere. Come on, man. Come on, man. And JJ talking about he gonna get in the ring, man. Stop playing with me, bro. You niggas, you ran from Kosmon, my nigga. When I first came on Sonetta, the nigga was like, well, let him go through Black Jesus before he get to Tazariak. You wanted me to go through the ranks. But when I asked you to debate Kosmon, what you were supposed to originally do, you still ain't do it till this day.
Still
so y'all niggas is playing with the real OGs over here, man. Ain't a damn nigga over here ran, and ain't a damn nigga over here turned down. You got your top nigga who talking about Captain Tazariak, no cowards. He ran. And y'all niggas is quiet. Even Sonetta quiet on that shit. So don't come to me talking like I'm some, you know what I mean? Like the gang scared of y'all niggas. Or y'all got to say is talk shit about the Owaski being a dentist. Nigga, that's pussy shit.
What's crazy is the reason why I'm over on Lions Den is because remember we had that hot seat and me and JJ was going back and forth and he challenged me to a debate. And I accepted the debate. I said, yeah. I said, game over. I challenge you. So then that's when I connected with JJ. And then I kept hitting up his Facebook, man, what you want to do? What you want to do? But then he sent me over to Gideon, remember? And then Gideon, we had the little preliminary. He dipped out. You know what I'm saying?
He ran. And then gonna try to go over there to the Aboriginals talking about, oh yeah, Kosmon been ducking his smoke. What? Nigga, you ran from my little bro.
Crazy.
And then so now, and then you know me, we can get it right now. I accept whatever you talking about. I accept the debate. We can set up the topic. He ran then too. I'll smoke you for, bro.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm talking about? And they know it. They know it. You dig what I'm talking about? So they didn't see me do what I do over there.
Even Elder Yara was talking that shit before I did that presentation. I give Sela $100 if he could prove off the shit of the European. When I finished that presentation, he didn't even come on to talk his piece, but he was talking that piece right at the beginning of that.
And then once I hit the line, I'm on there telling him, look, just take the debate. We ain't got to talk about nothing. You dig what I'm talking about? We ain't got to talk about nothing. Because I ain't going to get a word in edgewise, and I ain't about to be sitting here screaming on you whole ass niggas all day. You dig what I'm talking about? So you going to be able to get your time, and I'll be able to get my time. You dig what I'm talking about? So just set up the debate. Man, this coward been running. Stay running. I done hit Sonnet up 3-4 times. Like, what's up, bro? What's up with Yara? What's up with it? Oh, he don't want to debate you now, Kosmon. I know he don't. Because I made him foolish.
This nigga Sonetta called me on the phone with Pastor Bennett. You know what I mean? Like, nigga, he was, well, he calling us to debate. Like, we got a nigga, everybody running from Sela about this Owaski. Would you debate him? Well, Pastor Bennett ain't know what the book was about. He's all right, let me look into it, and then I'll get back. Man, I ain't never heard nothing from that nigga. G-Con. He took a stance on the debate. He forfeited the day of the debate.
Yep. Sure
Natalie was supposed to debate me.
Her and JJ ran the same day.
Yeah, exactly, Kosmon. Yup.
We were
Because
supposed to go back to
Sinetta
back.
hit me back and was like, yo, the debate off. I'm like, what happened? Oh man, they on some bullshit. They talking about judges and all this. So everything that happens is on their end. It's never on our end. Never. You know what I mean? So it's like niggas better shit. You know what I mean? It's like sit down somewhere. When I beat up Zion Lex, niggas were so hurt that they gonna say, yo, we're gonna give it to Zion. A nigga who pulled out 5 verses in 3 rounds and I pulled out 114, niggas stop. Where they do that at?
On top of a lion source.
Exactly. Then I cleared that shit up at the European authorship. Cleared that shit up at the end of that lecture. That's why them niggas they come back on. That's why them niggas peeping from the shadows. They're like, damn.
And remember, some months before that, I went on there and did the rumor doctrine. You did what I'm talking about, and cleared that up. Never heard nothing back.
Yeah. So now it's time to get to the nitty of the gritty. Let's debate the book. Nigga, come out the closet, debate your God, Jehovah of the Owaspy versus Jehovah of the goddamn Bible, God of the Owaspy versus God of the Bible, nigga. Which book? However you want to deal with it.
Or Osiris, Buddha, Brahma. Allah, all your gods.
You know what's crazy about us? All of us sitting up here on last day like this, bro. You know, like over a year ago, man, they had us up here clowning us, bro.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, that shows the maturity in JJ and his platform. You know what I mean? Because look, they letting us rock out right now.
They was clowning us on FOPE about over a year ago, bro. That we sit all up here on last day.
Gang all up in the chat. Shout out Yafa. Shout out Lisa Williams.
Man.
Shout out my sister Sharice. You dig what I'm talking about? Dreadful in here. Daniel Heru up in here. Shout out Daniel Heru. My Ema has always been better than your Ema. Naturals in the house. I am Mana is in the house.
Yeah.
Man, shout out to Karima. She up in here.
Yeah.
Hold up. Not only that, Cosmo. Even when
Mama up in here.
Hey, look, Mally just did the goddamn the presentation on Hilltop, showing how Abraham wasn't a goddamn murderer. He thought twice about killing Isaac. He said, nigga, I was commanded not to kill, but Abraham in the Bible didn't show and prove that. He was going straight for the slaughter. Then he showed in Exodus how Moses didn't kill no Egyptian. It was a lie from the goddamn Egyptians. So how can you hate a book that's clearing up the names of your prophets as not being killers?
Right.
And you want to justify killing because you thought God committed these prophets to kill when he originally said, thou shalt not murder and kill.
Right. And then your God tell you Exodus 20 and 13, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not murder, and then turn around and tell you to utterly eradicate.
And not only that, they'll try to say with that, well, oh, that was the other nations, that was the ops, that was the Gentiles. But when you go to Judges 20, you can't use that because Benjamin and the house of Israel decimating each other, killing off each other by 18,000 in a day. What God allow? What type of God you following if he's delegating the killing of his chosen people? No Canaanites, it ain't no Gentiles, no cursed seeds. These is the royal seed of Israel being decimated under the delegation of your God, man. You niggas can't stand, especially with me. You can't come in the ring with me with none of that shit hanging over your head. You niggas want to debate if whether Ruth was a Moab or an Israelite, but you got your God killing over 18,000 niggas in a day, nigga. Let's address that because this is the same God I'm supposed to be going to see after I die. I need to question if this is the right God because there's other gods floating around here. I may be rolling with the wrong one right now.
Right.
Wow, man. Wow. All right, brothers, man. I appreciate y'all stopping through, man, and showing y'all support. Much love and light to CGG, Create a Gang TV, man. Y'all already know what it is. All praises to the ever-present great spirit whose magnitude is incomprehensible and whose presence is everywhere. And without the virtue of that presence, none of us would be made possible.
That's right.
We're gonna go ahead and close out. Y'all got any closing statements, man?
Hey, y'all go to Cosmon Cal TV, sub, like, share. You did what I'm talking about. Show your boy some love. I'm sure it's something on there you like, man. Just breathe in, let that light in. Hey, I'm Cosmon, man, and I'm out.
All praises to the ever-present creator. Hey, my brother, excellent presentation. You already know, man. I expected nothing less. You feel me? Hey, bro. Hey, keep cooking, slow cooking. Let's keep our feet or let's keep our feet on the neck of these false ass deities, you dig? And let's keep pushing forward, man.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Number love, light, and balance to you, your family, and all that. Because I know a presentation like that takes time. You know what I mean? So that means you got
Yeah,
that time
yeah,
away from fam. You got to meditate. You got to think about stuff. You got to strategize. You got to do all type of things
right,
at the
right,
house. You
right,
know what I mean?
right,
While our family is still going on. So I understand the
right.
dedication. I understand the grind. I understand the sacrifice it takes to bring forth something like this, being a father, a husband, a family man, and all that,
Much
bro.
love,
So I
man.
want to
Much
salute
love.
you and trip off this, bro. After something like this, get your ass some rest, man. It's all
Right.
good.
Right. I'm about to watch. I'm about to lay down with wifey and watch. We started watching that show. Damn, what's the name of that show on Stars, man?
Shogun?
Bro, I start
It's,
watching.
it's the other one that.
I'm watching
Sorry.
Section
Go
8,
ahead.
1 and 2. Is that what is that called? Section
No,
8?
it's the one.
Section
It's the
8.
one. It's the one. It's the other one. 50 Cent produced. What's that one? Black Mafia Family or something like that.
DMF.
BMF.
BMF.
Yeah.
Yeah. We started watching it, man. I caught the first episode. I didn't get hooked, man.
It's good.
Yeah.
It
I
is
met
good.
one of the brothers from the set, man. He pulled up on set. Jason Louder, man. He pulled up on set on one time when I was filming this shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what's up. Well,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead,
see, like, what
brothers,
you got?
man. Y'all handle y'all business. I'm about to hear Darryl Kosmon. Excellent presentation. Excellent.
Excellent.
You know what I mean? Discipline,
Yeah.
brother. And you truly like years ahead of your time, brother. But hey, those
Man,
of us that's
much
with you,
love.
we hear you. You know what I mean?
Much love, King.
But I'm about
Yeah,
it.
Much love.
Yeah,
man.
love and
Like I
light,
say,
man.
Darryl,
Love and
man.
light to y'all brothers.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead, Steve.
Excellent build. Excellent build, Darryl. You know what I'm saying? You know, I must say, King, you when it comes to the science and the cosmology, yeah, man, that's your field right there. Yeah, man. Broke it down. You know what I mean? There was a little distractions in the chat. That's why, honestly, I really don't like to pay attention to the chat because it takes away from the focus of the lesson.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because when you're dealing with something like what you're dealing with, you got to really be keen to it. You got to be on top of it. It's just like being in school. When a class teacher starts the lesson, you got to start right there with them, because if your classmate next to you is hee ha with you, and then you get distracted and you lost on what the subject is about, where it's going. You know what I'm saying? So, nonetheless, man, that was an excellent. Hopefully, these brothers who wasn't paying attention could go back and listen and pay attention and catch it. And you know what I mean. But nonetheless, our duty is to drop the light, and then whoever get it gonna get it, because that's how we made each other. How creative game formed. We didn't force this down each other's throat. The light was spread, and then it started formulating just naturally. You know what I'm saying? So with that, King, salute, excellent build. Shout out to the Lions Den sister Karima. Is that her name? I said it right, Karima.
Yeah.
Yes. Salute to the
Real
sister.
good sister, man. Real good sister.
Indeed. So with that, salute, King. Peace and blessings.
Salute to you. Much love, brother.
Bless up.
The ones that lack clues of the delusion, abusing the illusion, are the ones losing. They lack comprehension in the parables we're using, forcing them to take sip of the solar juices from the brain oozing, so that they can wake up from their sleepwalking snoozing and give themselves enough inspiration and light to realize that the chosen are the choosing. My mind is racing. 1,000 images per second, pacing at the speed of spacing, trying to define the images that I'm facing of visions that vary. Because I'm constantly reading the book out of pages. I'm constantly reading the pages out of heaven's library, making me feel like a physical plane visionary bleeding sunfire toxin. Because I'm telekinetically unraveling these mysteries of chess boxing just to believe outside this box I'm locked in, that's causing me to lose my sanity. Sometimes I feel like I want to take a phoenix where there is gasoline just to spontaneously combust humanity. But I was given the knowledge that time is the distance between an action and a reaction, so I use my third eye to react before their actions, because they act without meaning. They wake up from their nightmares only to find themselves still dreaming, dissolved by the light beaming. And it's not till man is conscious less until he looks beyond to higher consciousness. But at most times, that's not the case. But at my time, I'm a supersede, never to forever return to this land, because the galaxy to the universe is but a grain of sand. Love and light.